chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's Tailgate Special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles Tailgate Special, and go. It's Bo time.
It's been said that when someone you love has Parkinson's, you have Parkinson's. If you have questions, the Parkinson's Foundation has answers. Learn more at parkinson.org or call 1-800-473-4636.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Again, we have high fire danger for this afternoon with the windy conditions, gusts up to 30 miles per hour. I mean, you shouldn't do any outdoor burning as fires could spread quickly. A nice afternoon, though, temperature-wise, with highs in the low 70s and a chilly night tonight, down to 42 under clear skies. The cool air lingers tomorrow, sunshine, but a high of just 68.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 194 points to 46,784.
Here's Miller finding his way through, and he scores! A power play goal! Keandre Miller centered in front, shot, he scores! His second of the game! Jordan Stahl's on fire! Now it's Jarvis sending this one across, and they score! Sebastian Aho! Jarvis, Aho with it. Aho leaves it for Gostisbehere. Back to Aho. Shooting spot for Jarvis.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is a Thursday. It is a hockey night in Carolina. It is a victory Thursday for the Delaware Blue Hens. I'm trying to slowly turn the triangle into we like our teams here, but we also like the Delaware Blue Hens.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work.
It is a victory Thursday for the Charlotte Hornets.
The Charlotte Hornets.
The Carolina Panthers are on a 3-game win streak. Did you just wake up and the birds were chirping? Your favorite food was somehow sitting on the oven, whether you made it or not. It is a good day, everybody. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox, producing the show, and it is a good day and a great time for the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
The latest on Bryce Young. Carolina Panthers getting ready for a game against the Bills at home. This is as big of a game as they've had in years. They're above 500. They're playing a good team, a contending team, and it doesn't look like they're going to have their quarterback. We were anticipating it with Bryce's ankle injury, but yesterday he had his helmet, and it was a little harder to differentiate because he had a helmet and everyone else was practicing in helmets. Today they were in pads. He was still just in his helmet, off to the side, doing the resistance band, light jogging workout. And I'll go back to what I said yesterday, which is how much he's able to do this week, I think is a better indicator for his potential next week when they're playing the Packers than anything going on with the Bills, right? The ramp up has already begun, but it's Andy Dalton's week. For better or worse, by the way, and it might be better, but for better or worse, it's Andy Dalton's week. And quite frankly, it all might be Andy Dalton's week or Bryce Young's week next week or it might be a Jalen Coker week, but guess who owns the month and the year? It's Rico Dowdle, right? We can talk about all of this, window dressing. Make no mistake about it. The recent run by the Panthers is driven by running the ball and playing defense, running the ball and stopping the run. So a quarterback injury is almost, and I'm not saying perfect because no injury ever is. You never hope for an injury. Injuries are bad. You never want to see them. But it's almost like the ultimate, piece of something shiny up in the air to like a cat or a dog or something, right? It's just a distraction. And we've done it. I've done it. All right. How does Andy Dalton change the offense? Is it better or worse? What does this mean about Bryce Young? When in actuality, I'm not exaggerating here. There are thousands of guys that can hand off to Rico Dowdle as good as anybody, right? If he's going to have 25 touches and then there's another, 7, 8, 9, 10 for Chuba Hubbard, if they're going to run the ball 30 times, which is the way I think they operate at their best. If things are going well against the Bills, they are running the ball early, often, and for the entirety of the game. Andy Dalton can hand the ball off. He's been doing it a long time. High school Andy Dalton can turn and go, here you go, Rico. That's really what it comes down to. Bryce Young, would you like your starting quarterback to be there? Absolutely. Do all injuries stink? Absolutely. If Bryce Young plays and the running game gets bottled up, it doesn't matter if Bryce Young plays. If Bryce Young doesn't play and the running game gets bottled up, it doesn't matter that he wasn't playing. Rico Dowdle is the third leading rusher in the NFL. Third. I did a little bit of research here, did a little bit of math, and we're going to come back to it because it's staggering. Do you realize how far down the rushing list you have to go to find a player, a running back specifically, because quarterbacks sometimes have outlandishly high yards per carry? Rico Dowdle is third in rushing yards. You have to go all the way down to Jeremy McNichols, who is 62nd in rushing yards, to find a running back with a higher yards per carry than Rico Dowdle.
That's pretty far away.
That means he is near the top in volume and at the top in efficiency. That's as good as you can get it. Part of me says we should use my three-point rule. If you're shooting like 45% or above from three, you're not shooting enough. Keep shooting until that thing gets down to about 42. There's your equilibrium. If you're averaging 5.6 yards per carry, like Rico Dowdle is, they probably aren't giving you the ball enough. Keep giving it to him until that thing gets down to like 5.2, which is where a lot of the other elites sit this year, the Bijan Robinsons and Jahmyr Gibbs and such. Bryce in, Bryce out. It's Rico's world. We're just living in it. That's number one. Let's get to number two.
Number two.
Canes at Avalanche tonight. Or should I say, Whalers at Nordiques tonight. Only in the location for neither the Whalers nor the Nordiques. But the jerseys, you know what I'm saying. I'll turn my mic off here just so on YouTube the camera jumps into Dennis because he's wearing a Whalers shirt.
Yes, I am. I am actually wearing a Whalers shirt today. So I had to do it. That's the one thing I had to do it. I know that the camera will eventually flip over to me. But yeah, see, there it is. For everyone that's listening, it's a standard just green Whalers colored shirt with the white logo on it. Had to rock it today.
One of the best logos in the history of sports.
Best colors, too.
Yeah. Very the green and I mean the jersey matchup tonight is elite. Do you know what else is elite? The hockey matchup tonight might be as good as the jersey matchup tonight. If you look at betting odds and things, this is one of the more likely potential Stanley Cup matches, right? Stanley Cup finals. This could be a preview. Not saying it's likely, but it's one of the more likely. And then you add on top of that a little bit of the history, right? You look across the ice, you're going to be seeing Brent Burns. You look across the ice, you're going to be seeing Martin Necas. You look across the ice, you're going to be seeing Jack Jury, guys that we have, pledged our allegiance to in the past when they were members of the Canes. You're also going to be seeing guys like Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar. You're going to be seeing some really, really talented players on the opposing side. Build in the fact that the Canes are in Game 5 of a 6-game road trip, coming off their first loss of the season to the Vegas Golden Knights. This one has the makings of a potential statement game for the Canes. It has the makings of, if you go out and play this one well, and the hockey should be high level on both sides, play this one well, win the game, you're announcing yourself as something. You are announcing yourself as some. We'll get to more of that in about 7 minutes here. 3:15, we'll dive back into Canes. But first, we got to hit number 3.
Number 3.
The NBA opened last night, and the Charlotte Hornets are winners.
The Charlotte Hornets!
136-117 over the Brooklyn Nets, which means, as of right now, the Big Four sports professional teams in the state of North Carolina are all over 500. We got Canes, obviously. They've been over 500 for a billion years. The Hornets are 1-0. The Panthers are 4-3. Everybody's a winning team as of right now. Who knows how long it'll last? Enjoy it while it's here. And also the Hornets, enjoy that game one because it is. I mean, you almost don't want to say it too loud, right? Hornets look good.
They were fun last night.
They played 10 players. 9 of them finished in double figures. All that stockpiling of young talent worked. All that stockpiling of young talent built in a little bit of depth. They had Colin Sexton coming off the bench, partially because they wanted 2 rookies in the starting lineup, Ryan Kalkbrenner, the Giant, and Con Knippel, who had a nice little efficient 11 on 4 of 6 shooting. Obviously, we're talking to the 4th overall pick out of Duke. 3 for 4 from 3. They shot 47% from 3. What did I say? They're not shooting enough. Keep launching. LaMelo Ball had a good day, 20 points. Brandon Miller had a good day, 25 points. Miles Bridges had a good day, 18 points.
Sion James from Duke as well, making his NBA debut last night.
Played a good amount of minutes, didn't have a banana stat line, but he was out there mixing it up in an NBA uniform as a second-round pick. Now, I should, call it out. The Nets aren't exactly the biggest test in the world, but that's the first part about being a good team in the East is taking care of business in the games you're supposed to take care of.
By the way, we did see Drake Powell play a little bit last night from North Carolina.
Correct.
Daron Sharp, former UNC product, also playing last night for the Brooklyn Nets.
Correct, and Sharp had a good day.
Yeah.
Came off the bench, and I don't know, he had like 15, 16 points, something like that. Drake Powell got, I would say, limited run, but, broke the seal. Right, got out there, got his number called, registered the first stats, and can build from there. And I think that's when the Nets drafted him in that kind of mid to late, whatever, 20-some pick in the first round. I think they drafted him with the idea that he wasn't a fully finished product, right? Part traits, part measurables, and they're going to hope to turn him into something. And that makes sense as to why you would start him slow. And I think he played less than 10 minutes. Either way, the NBA was on last night. It was a fun day in the league. There were players from the Triangle schools all over the place.
Tyrese Proctor, Cooper Flagg all made debuts last night as well.
Cooper Flagg had maybe the most disappointing debut double-double you can imagine.
Yeah.
Because he shared the court with Victor Wembanyama, who looks like an absolute monster for the Spurs. And he missed some shots, missed an alley-oop dunk, played point guard. How about that?
Yeah.
Cooper Flagg was listed as a point guard, which I like. I think that's cool. I think that's great for his development, but it just shows that they're not asking him like the exact opposite of, oh, you're a project. We're going to ask you to do a little bit and hope you. No, they're like putting the ball in your hands. We're going to sink or swim with you against one of the freakiest athletes we've ever seen in the history of the world. Good luck. And he had a double-double. It wasn't the prettiest, but in a loss. But he had a double-double in his debut. And yes, Victor Wembanyama did look that special. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm going to try to keep the optimism high, the energy high all day today. Canes, Panthers, Hornets, all over 500. There's a football weekend staring us in the face and a Canes game tonight with cool jerseys. Canes tonight against the Avalanche. Coming up next.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. During hockey season, I'm bouncing from coast to coast like a puck on ice. But when I'm back in town, I always head to Buffalo Brothers for the best wings on the planet. And check this out. Now they have a new flavor, chili lime. You can't beat the great specials at all 5 Triangle locations, like half-price pizzas, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6. You can dine in or carry out. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Finally, Ray Ferraro gets it free. Hull finds Scott Young. He tries to tee it up, hooks it back. Babbitt shoots, scores!
Once again, Rick, a good example of the defenseman being part of the offense as Babbage follows the play up. We're going to see Jody Hull. He'll get the puck at center ice, and he hit Scott Young, and this is the finishing touches to that play.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that this rejoin was coming, but that's pretty cool. Obviously, it's Canes Avalanche tonight, but they'll be wearing the Whalers and the Nordiques gear. So, little throwback highlight there coming out of break. That's pretty cool. I've said it. If I were the Canes or the Avalanche marketing squads, when these jerseys are on the ice, I would go all out. I would do some kind of food special with prices from back then. I would give away like trading cards or something to the first however many people, and it would be all 1991 Whalers. That's what I'd be doing, because I think encourage everybody to dress like the time period, do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just make it like an 80s night.
Yeah,
that's all you got to do.
80s night. Put something with the Jumbotron involved.
By the way, that was a highlight from Hartford against Quebec.
There you go.
So yeah,
man, I'm all for nostalgia in doses. In doses, I'm all for nostalgia. I don't know if I told everybody this, but my dad grew up in New England and he was a Hartford Whalers fan. So having me cover the Canes is kind of like a weird, like, what is going on here moment for him. Last Christmas, I got him some Whalers gear from the Canes team store, and it was like, how did this happen? Yeah, kind of a cool moment. Anyway, the Canes, when we're talking hockey, we'll allude to them as the Whalers. I'm not calling them the Whalers all day. The Canes tonight have a game against the Avalanche, and despite all of that, right, the cool stuff, the new jerseys, the green, you look different, gotcha. It's a big game. And there's a lot of obvious like measuring sticks happening, right? It's going to be hard. I'm going to try not to. I encourage you all to try not to. It's going to be hard not to judge some of the Canes' moves over the last year based on the eye test today, right? If Stankoven scores and Keandre Miller makes a few big defensive plays, some highlights, maybe he's quarterbacking a power play that gets going, boom, winner, right? Gave up what you had to give up to get Mikko. Gave up Mikko to get what you got. Turned it into this. Turned it into that. Look at how awesome this is. All those pieces add up to a great team. However, Martin Necas stays hot. Jack Drury wins like 90% of his faceoffs. If a bunch of other things happen, go a different way, questions are going to loom, right? And it's going to be, well, should we have? Why didn't it work? Why did this have to happen? The Mikko, blah, blah, blah. I don't think that's fair, right? Because it's not a controlled experiment. If Martin Necas stays hot, Nathan McKinnon might have something to do with that. Right? If he stays hot, their system, Cale Makar, might have something to do with that. What I think it really comes down to is simply these are two teams that are really good. And when there are two teams that are really good, and this goes for all sports, one's going to get the better of the other. Okay? It's not always some indication of something big and terrible that happened on the losing team, although that's usually where our mind goes. Sometimes it's just, two teams playing good hockey with good players, one dealing with an injury here, one dealing with an injury there, one a little offbeat because they've been on the road for a while, one at home but dealing with something else going on, and you come together, you play hockey, one's going to win, one's going to lose. Now, I do reserve the right, if it's 4-0 at the end of the first period in either direction, to then change my ideas from like, let's not overreact to, all right, let's see what happened here. But I think in a lot of ways this is a good big game test. And I'm not going to do this all year. This is one of the things that I would do occasionally last year, because there's the Canes, the Avalanche, a few other teams across sports. It might be, the Bills. We've talked about this. There's very little these teams can do to prove to us in the regular season that this year is going to be a success, right? When each of these teams have been in the postseason, meaning the Avalanche and the Canes, have been in the postseason every year since 2019, right? So there's very little that they can prove. They've been every seed. They've been every point total. They've had individual great seasons where they got it done as a team and all everything. It's been a long time where these teams are good. There's very little they can do in the regular season that's going to make me go, wow, what a great year. It's all about how they perform in the postseason. So the regular season becomes all about preparing you for the postseason. So last year, what I would do is I would look at these games and I would say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a game is it? Because you can't simulate beat for beat a postseason game, but I do think the bigger games in the regular season are good little dress rehearsals, right? Where you have two good teams, where you have maybe if it's a big divisional game, that adds it up, right? If seeding's on the line, if there's some other emotion, right? Or a return game, a revenge game, if there were previous fights between these two teams and they're playing now, I'm like, that ups the intensity, feels a little playoff-like. Like, I wanted to see the Canes do well in those games because that would indicate that I think they're getting ready for the postseason, which their knock has always been very good team, very talented, very deep, doesn't work in the postseason, right? That's what's the knock's been the last 5 years. This game, I think if we were to give a big game rating, pretty big, right? Scale of 1 to 10, it's not a 10, but it's well above 5.
Say 7.
Something
early in the year, 7.
I would have gone like 7.5.
Yeah.
And partially because it's their first bounce back, right? They lost to Vegas in their last game. This is their first opportunity to shake one off and get back out there, which in the postseason is a requirement, right? When you're playing a 7-game series against a really good team, sure, you want the sweep, but you're probably going to have to lick your wounds, dust yourself off, get back ready, and play again in another 2 or 3 days. Big game rating. I think this one would be up there, and I think that's part of the reason why it's going to be tempting to overreact. It's also important to put all the context on there, including Jacob Slavin and Shane Gostisbehere not being on the ice for the Canes, which in a big game you do want your veterans, especially some of your more proven guys out there. So here's Rod Brindamore, the head coach, on being able to overcome those losses.
Those are huge losses, and on any team you lose your defense. It's just hard, and so you need other guys to pick up the slack. It's not just in your play; it's in how you help other guys. And we got young guys back there, and that's any help that they can have and feel comfortable. It's just going to help our group. So it's nice to have veteran players that understand that.
Now I'm not a superstitious person. I say that often, and I'm not making the I'm a little stitious joke. I'm not a superstitious person. I don't believe in it. If I were a superstitious person, I would tell everybody to never mention depth. Because doesn't it seem like as soon as you talk about, like, actually, they got some pretty good depth out there. This year their roster, they're going to have to decide who gets the opportunities. As soon as you say that, like, all right, 2 guys are going to go down right away. It did feel like their blue line had some depth, right? Mike Riley, what a great 7th defenseman. Legault, in an emergency, you had to go to Charles Alexis Legault. He's looked really good this preseason. That's not bad. We're 2 weeks in? Both of them just kind of locked into the lineup while other guys figure out what's going on. Legault made his debut last game on the road at the Vegas Golden Knights. Not the easiest introduction. Now he gets his second cap, if we're talking about soccer, on the road at the Colorado Avalanche. Your depth is being tested out the gate. There's going to be, and again, it's a bigger deal. I don't know if it's the biggest deal, but it's a bigger deal when your blue line is banged up and you're on the road because you don't get to decide those matchups, right? You don't always get to decide who's out there on the ice.
I'm going to flip a question on you, Tim. I know this is something you asked Mike Glennon, you asked me. What has to happen tonight for the Canes to get a win? I'm flipping it on you.
No, you're not allowed to do this. You can't run the triple option against Navy.
Too bad I did it.
All right.
If this happens, therefore the Canes win. Because last time you asked me, I said Canes got to score in the power play, and that's when I think, remember correctly, they beat the Kings.
I was tempted to go power play, but I won't. I'll go if. This one's tough.
And not if they score more than the other team, because that's,
Well, the temptation.
Thank you, Booger McFarland.
The temptation is obviously we know Colorado can score.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, I'll flip it on the other side.
Okay.
Colorado's power play also stinks.
It's true, actually.
This year, the Canes, I think, are 31st in percentage, and I don't like this was as of a day and a half ago, so whatever's happened since then. The Canes were 31st in power play percentage. Colorado was 30th, so they were two of the very bottom feeders in the NHL. I'll go. It's power play related, but I'll say if they have more power play goals than Colorado, if the PK wants to go out there and blank Colorado and all you need is one. But if the PK gives up one to Colorado, which they got some dudes on their power play units, then the Canes have to go out there and get two. I think if they win the power play, kind of like winning the turnover battle, then I think they win.
Colorado, 11.5% on the power play, 30th in the NHL. Carolina, 9.5%, 31st in the NHL. With all this firepower, and both these teams also cooking to start the year,
I mean, if you just list the names on the power play and then you say these are guys on some of the worst power play units in the league thus far, it just doesn't add up. It's confusing.
They're combined 10-1-2 on the year.
Yeah. Which is
think about that.
Pretty much without power play contribution.
Yeah.
That's pretty ridiculous. So of course today it's going to be 4-3 in the power play. Like of course that's how hockey works. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will continue to look at that one throughout the show. Of course we will. It's a hockey night in Carolina, and you can hear that game right here on 99.9 The Fan. Tim Donnelly here right now for Miller Lending. You know what? I was listening to a podcast the other day with some pro sports athletes, and they were talking about getting traded and how your life is upended and you got to move and your family, and a lot of times your significant other is dealing with if you're selling a house, buying a house, packing everything up, hitting the move, and they were very on their high horse of regular people don't have to deal with this. I disagree. Sometimes your job says if you want to keep your job, you're moving. We used to call it transferred, right? When my dad used to get transferred and suddenly we were moving. Or they'll say something like, yeah, we can give you that raise you're asking for if you move 4 hours away, if you go to another state, if you go to live closer to headquarters, and then you're moving. And it's not because mortgage rates were low. You didn't time it up. You didn't say, now's the time to buy a house, so I'm going to buy. Instead, you said, now's the time I have to move to keep my job, so I'm going to move. And when that happens, you can't choose the timing, you can't choose what rates are, but you can choose Miller Lending. And that means you can choose a no-cost loan. No closing cost loans. They've been doing them since 1987. Miller Lending actually arrived here in the Triangle in 1996. They've been doing no closing cost loans ever since they opened their doors. And no closing cost loan means no third-party fees, no closing costs, no surcharges, no hidden fees. And that's a beautiful thing because you can't always choose the rate, but you can choose. You can choose the best rate. Miller Lending will find it for you, but you can't always choose what the rates are at the moment. You can choose to do no closing costs and help you, right, by keeping that money in your bank, help you cover the monthly payment that you have to make on your mortgage. And then we all, fingers crossed, hope rates drop like they've done since January, almost full point. And then you refinance, no cost, no fees out of your pocket again. Keep doing that. Keep lowering your monthly payment until you get it somewhere where you're more comfortable. The number to call is 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, that's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. When we come back, it's time for the Dean's List. We have a very diverse Dean's List coming up next. Stick around.
One last exhale.
Fitting, isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day one. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition product.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $650 million now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $650 million. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 291 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Jordan Burks on the drive on Homenia, goes inside, got it blocked. Get that out of there, Isaiah Evans with the rejection. And across midcourt, it's 4-on-3. Isaiah going to work, off the window and in.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Hockey night in Carolina. I failed to mention this before the break. I said you can listen to it right here on 99.9 The Fan, the Canes Avalanche game. You can also listen to it on the 99.9 The Fan app. Download it, Google Play, App Store. That way, if you got to bounce away from your radio, whatever it is, you can go walk the dog, you can work out, you can do some yard work. Keep us in your pocket, right there on your phone. Google Play or App Store, 99.9 The Fan. Not only for Canes games, you can listen to this show, you can listen to Adam Gold's show, you can get podcasts, you can do a whole bunch of cool stuff on the app. I encourage you to check it out. And the Canes will be a nice little transition into the Dean's List. Let's go ahead and put class in session. First Dean's List member, Justin Poirier, which I think is also the name of a UFC fighter.
That's Dustin Poirier.
Dustin Poirier? Okay. Every time I say Justin Poirier, I go like, wait a second. No, this is the Canes 2024 NHL 5th round draft pick.
Okay.
Plays for the University of Maine. I read a whole article today updating. Obviously, Serrato at Penn State is kind of lighting it up. But Poirier, the brand new University of Maine product, in his debut had a hat trick.
Nice.
Then led to a 4-point weekend, which led him some co-rookie of the week honors, some rookie of the week honors. And at the time of the article, which I read yesterday, he led the team in scoring, led the team in points. So he's at Maine, which is obviously where Bradley Nadeau went. So there's a nice little pipeline going on there. And he had a hat trick in his debut. A hot start for the young hockey player. So wanted to throw him on the Dean's List. Another one. This is a guy we've been tracking, and I'm gonna get ahead of this. I did feel like we were kind of bandwagoning on this player, but guess what? It's not. We've been on since the very beginning. He's just gone from the very beginning of his career to the absolute pinnacle of his sport very quickly. So it feels like we got on the bandwagon late, but it's just been a short ride. Trey Yesavage, ECU baseball player, 18 months ago, was pitching in Greenville for ECU. The Blue Jays announced today that tomorrow, Savage is going to be starting Game 1 of the World Series.
Oh, he's going to start
for
tomorrow?
the Toronto Blue Jays.
Nice.
18 months ago.
With Blake Snell on the other side starting?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Game 1 of the World Series. Here's the ball, kid. Make ECU proud.
Props to that young man.
18 months ago. 18. That's absurd. First of all, it's impressive. I'm acting like it came out of nowhere. No, he's earned it. He's pitched very well from his call-up. His call-up just wasn't that long ago. And the reason why I say, it feels like we're bandwagoners is because, you guys just started talking about him, and look at that, he's in the World Series. No. After his very first start in the bigs, we put him on the Dean's List because he had broken the Blue Jays' debut strikeouts record. More strikeouts than any other pitcher in Blue Jays history in their debut. Threw him on the Dean's List. And then a couple weeks later, Dennis had him on the Dean's List for some reason. A couple weeks later, he's in the playoffs pitching, so he put him on the Dean's List. We've been tracking it from the very beginning of his professional career. It just seems like it probably should have taken him longer from the very beginning of his big league career to starting Game 1 of the World Series. Pretty darn cool. Do you have some Dean's Listers you'd like to throw out here, Dennis?
I do, actually.
Let's hear them.
Grace Hartman, NC State cross country. She is one of the top 30 honorees for the 2025 NCAA Woman of the Year award.
Just straight Woman of the Year?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was established back in the early 90s, but it's, athletes or female athletes who have exhausted their eligibility and obviously did well academically, athletically, service leadership throughout their collegiate careers. So yeah, Grace Hartman from NC State, one of the Woman of the Year, top 30 honorees.
State has some of those Olympic sports, some of those kind of quote unquote other sports where they're really good.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of them. Anyone else, or should I jump into more?
Go to more.
ESPN put out their top 100 men's basketball players for the college basketball season. 100, which makes the math easy for me. I feel comfortable doing this on air. They have 7% of the top 100 players in the triangle. That's 100, it's easy, right? That means there's 7 players. Dame Sarr, Duke freshman, number 95. Isaiah Evans, Duke sophomore, number 92. Nick Hamenia, Duke freshman, number 86. Henry Vasar, number 58, UNC junior.
Nice.
Caleb Wilson, UNC freshman, number 26. Darian Williams, NC State senior, number 8. Cameron Boozer, Duke freshman, number 6. I'm partially saying all of this on air so we can come back to it at the end of the year.
Okay.
I think a lot of these are going to be like, they should have been higher. Not saying other players on other spots won't be also doing well. I feel like a lot of these are a little low. I think Caleb Wilson being 26 is going to look ridiculous. I think he's going to be a lottery pick. I think at least one of the 3 Duke guys in the 86 to 95 range, Hamenia, Evans, or Sarr, one of them is going to end up being a first-round pick next year.
I think Evans is the one that shoots up that list. Sophomore year.
Bigger role, more license to shoot. And then like Darian Williams and Cameron Boozer, it's hard to be like, they're so disrespected. But 6 and 8, I think they're closer to 3 than 10. But we'll see where it goes.
I know you're top 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Top 10.
It's really hard to complain about that. I was pleased with Vasar though. 58. I think it's a lot of potential there, but I think he's good. So there you go. That's for the Dean's List. We do have to fulfill our requirement. Darian Mensah, Duke quarterback, was added to the midseason Manning Award watch list presented by the All-State Sugar Bowl. C.J. Bailey, Caden Hauser, already on the list from their preseason watch list. This goes to best quarterback.
Okay.
So Darian Mensah added to the list. There were, I think, 24 preseason, 22 more added midseason. But Darian Mensah is near the top in a bunch of passing categories in the country. That should get you added to some midseason quarterback watch lists. If you're top 5 in a bunch of passing categories. So
it helps.
Kind of straight line there for Darian Mensah. But I don't want to act like it's just the statistics either. He's passing some eye test things. But I'll put the same thing that I put on Duke on Darian Mensah. the stats are a bit like low calorie. He throws for a ton of yards and a good amount of touchdowns, but it seems like he's got a lot of like 350 passing yard, 2 touchdown games. Maybe a turnover mixed in there. And it's holding, Duke's offense is having a hard time converting all of their production to points in the big games. They're outgaining their opponents at times by huge margins and not beating them on the scoreboard by the same margins, which is an issue. But individually, his statistics are impressive. Thus, he makes the Manning Award watch list. Last one here, and this is apt going into our next conversation. I want to put on the Dean's list all of the major majority of college athletes that turn down any and all sports gambling bribes and don't get themselves caught in bad positions and don't do it. There's a story today that we're going to dive into shortly here about professional athletes, coaches being involved in the nefarious world of gambling, sports gambling, and otherwise, poker and a whole bunch of other things. Sometimes I do think the few stories where players get involved in this make it seem like it's much more prevalent. Like, it's still statistically zero, right? Of the thousands of athletes that play college sports, and especially the thousands that play at a high level, the overwhelming majority do not get themselves caught up in bad situations. Same with professional athletes, right? If there's 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 or 20 that get themselves twisted up, sometimes I think it's good to remember that most don't, right? It's not like every athlete is on the take out there. So I wanted to give a little shout out to those that stay above the fray. Dean's List. That's the Dean's List. Let's dismiss it. Go ahead.
By the way, real quick, our good friend David Jones sent us this. So we talk about Trey Savage on the Dean's List. In 2025, Trey Savage, the former ECU pitcher, this year, 2025 alone, will have pitched in Single A, High A, Double A, Triple A, the American League Division Series, the American League Championship Series, and the World Series. All in one calendar year.
Is that good? You know what the funny part is? Making him go to every stop means at no point in time did they assume, oh, this is one of those ones, right? Yeah. They just assumed, all right, he's too good for here. Let's see if he's too good for he's too good for here. Let's see if he's too good. Because sometimes you see a prospect go to low A or something, and it's like, oh, goodness, put this guy in Triple A. Or they jump straight from Double A to the majors because it's like, okay, this guy's ready. He literally had to go to every stop and prove. He had to go to every stop and be like, guys, watch. Boom, boom, boom. All right, send me up. That's a really good story of a athlete just showing what he's worth. And now he's getting the ball to start game 1 of the World Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's going to be on the mound facing Shohei Ohtani in the first inning of the first game of the World Series.
Yeah, leading off.
That is it's what dreams are made of. Congratulations to you, but it is hard to fathom the emotions that would be going through your head. And as a pitcher, he probably just, blocks them all out and compartmentalizes and throws to the mitt. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Dean's List. We hinted at the gambling ring that was revealed and arrests were made across the country by the FBI today. What's the impact on sports, and how much does it connect to our area? Stick around.
It's bow time. Fumble in the food on game day? Rookie move. But Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's bow time.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Here's Brandon with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Tired of waiting for a sleep treatment? At other sleep centers, it can take 6 to 8 months just to get an appointment and cost you thousands more. Not Parkway Sleep Health Centers. We schedule you within weeks and we'll save you money too. We have over 20 years of experience serving the Triangle. Let our expert team help you sleep better sooner.
End your sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Is your whole home operating at peak performance? With Newcomb & Company, your independent Trane dealer, proudly serving our community for over 70 years. As a Comfort contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs, including repairs and replacements for faucets, toilets, piping, garbage disposals, water heaters, drain cleaning, and more. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
As you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today, former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was, I believe, Kash Patel, of the leader of the FBI. I mean, you get the feds involved. Something serious is going on. The news started to break earlier today. Terry Rozier, Scary Terry, as many of you know him from his NBA nickname, arrested in Orlando, which is where his team, the Heat, I believe, are playing the Orlando Magic, arrested for his participation in an illegal gambling ring. And then all of a sudden you hear Chauncey Billups, who's the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, is arrested. And then you're hearing poker's involved. I can give you some of the details based on the press conference that the FBI held this morning, which you just heard part of the audio. The charges include illegal gambling, wire fraud, and extortion. And there were multiple different instances or parts of the press conference where there was linkage, where they linked the gambling ring to the Italian mafia. There are 2 separate indictments. The first involves mostly sports corruption and insider information and players altering the impact of sporting events. Then there's a second indictment of which there was a nationwide, allegedly, all of this is alleged, a nationwide scheme to rig illegal poker games. And that's, I mean, I'm gonna break down the two. It's almost hard. The 2 indictments could not seem more different, but due to the fact that some of the defendants overlap, they're being kind of connected. The sports corruption seemed pretty simple. You find a player, you have them tell you that they are going to bow out of a game with an injury early in the game, and then you find as many different ways to bet on their statistical unders. So I think that player A is going to get less than 6 rebounds, less than 3 threes made, less than 4 assists, less than 15 points. You bet all those unders as often as you can, as many sports books as you can, and then after 5 minutes of playing and not getting anywhere near those numbers, the player says, ow, my foot, and they leave the game. That is, as it's described, some of the clunkiest illegal operations I've ever seen, and it seems like they got caught. I'm going to read part of a synopsis, a summary of the press conference from earlier today. This comes from Joe Pompliano, who covers who covers the business side of sports. The FBI says that NBA player Terry Rozier told the defendants that he was going to leave a game early on March 23rd, 2023 with an injury. I'll add the subtext, the context that he was playing for the Charlotte Hornets at this time. The defendants then placed more than $200,000 of wagers on the unders for his prop bets, with Rozier leaving the game after 9 minutes. Those bets paid out tens of thousands of dollars in profits. And you ready for this? The defendants and Rozier counted the money at his house.
That's wild.
This is the clampets of illegal activity here. This is stealing a car and storing it in your garage. This is stealing a shirt and wearing it to their house. What are we doing here? I don't want to make this about like, oh, you're bad at the illegal activity, because the lesson should be don't do the illegal activity, allegedly. But if you're going to do the illegal activity, don't be that boneheaded about it. Which leads me to the other indictment. The other indictment, which is where you see Chauncey Billups' name pop up and a few others. The poker scheme targeted victims who were lured to participate in rigged poker games, lured by the chance to play alongside current and former professional athletes. Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, etc. This thing is not amateur hour.
Mm-hmm.
Special contact lenses and glasses that could read marked cards. X-ray poker tables that could read cards face down. A altered shuffling machine that could read the cards in the deck and then relay the information to an off-site operator who would then send that information to someone at the table. They were operating like James Bond.
That seriously sounds straight out of a Bond movie.
Poker chip trays that read cards through hidden cameras. Rigged tables that were all about making you think you were playing a fair game, but they had all the information. Again, allegedly. All of this comes out to millions of dollars being swindled, and a bunch of NBA-connected people arrested this morning. Now, I did mention that the Terry Rozier game that is under the spotlight, he was a Charlotte Hornet, which, I mean, in the scheme of things, I don't think matters a ton, right? Although there are probably some Hornets fans going, I knew there was somebody sabotaging from the inside, and this gives you a little bit of credence to your conspiracy theories.
This is why we were bad.
Exactly. We would have been good if that Rozier wasn't intentionally throwing all of the games. We're like, well, they're focused on one. No, this is why we were bad for a decade. And there are jokes. I'm not going to lie and say there aren't. Some of them are funny. Obviously, these are real lives at stake. People lost real money. People are facing real consequences. Like there's a serious nature to any time there's indictments and arrests and the FBI is involved, which is true about this at multiple levels. There is at least one referenced incident of robbery with a handgun or with a gun, which were, again, super serious stuff. From a sports perspective, which is what I try to deal with on this show, right? Although we do acknowledge when things are more serious. From a sports perspective, it becomes absolutely paramount in the time where gambling is more prevalent that leagues can do everything they possibly can and do everything they possibly can to ensure that even if these incidents have happened in the past, there is an expectation and a belief that games are on the up and up moving forward. I don't want to watch games where I know the outcome, right?
Yeah.
I don't want, like, that removes everything, right? Sports, they're beautiful because they're unpredictable. And if somebody is out there controlling the outcome like a puppeteer, then they're predictable, right? That's the difference. That's the secret sauce. So whatever the NBA has to spend on investigators, whatever the NBA has to spend on protocol to ensure that they check and recheck and triple check and quadruple check all connections and all gambling numbers and all everything, you got to spend that money. because it's quite frankly too easy to do. Terry Rozier, as the way it's been described by the FBI allegations, was really bad at it. If he was a little bit better, I'm not as convinced that he doesn't get away with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leaving the game early is super obvious, and anytime somebody gets hurt early in a game, you should check every sports book for all of the prop bets bet on them, and if there's a significant amount of unusual gambling on the under, that's a red flag right there. But what if he played the entire time and he didn't tell the gambling people that he was in the wrong side of the law with? If instead of saying like bet all the unders, he said simply like bet the assists under, and he just didn't pass, right? Or bet the 3-point under and he just took 2s. Like there's more clever ways to go about it. So I think the NBA needs to spend and spend and spend to make sure it doesn't happen.
There's also the question of Terry Rozier, you're on a $96 million contract.
Which is like, really dumb.
Yeah, like why are you trying to help others siphon off some money off your performance? It doesn't make any sense.
If you can't, just cut the check to get out of whatever situation you're in. It doesn't,
or whatever. Like if buddy needs help, like all right,
cut him a check. No, I completely understand that. But quite frankly, I don't want to say I don't care. I hope all athletes take care of their money and do well, right? Sure. I don't want to see anybody get a life-changing amount of money and then find themselves in a bad situation. From a sports perspective, I don't care what he's got going on financially, right? I don't care if he's take every dollar and he puts it in Bitcoin and it's worth 12 times as much or 100 times, 1 billion times as much. I don't care if he's living check to check and spending frivolously and buying every car and every yacht he can find. The NBA doesn't have to govern his financial situation. They have to govern whether the games are on the upfront.
Mm-hmm.
And that is real, right? It is a billion dollar business. And if you lose the assumption of fairness, I think you lose everything that appeals about professional sports.
Let's not forget as well, you said Chauncey Billups, Portland Trailblazers head coach. You know who was in attendance last night sitting courtside? Tom Dundon, the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes, who is set to purchase the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Does this come with a discount now?
I don't know if it comes with a discount. I think it makes him go to the Trailblazers with an appreciation of Rod Brindamore.
Might.
And I also think it might make it easier for him. I don't think I thought he's going to get his people in there.
Oh, he has every excuse now.
And
like,
now
cleaning house.
Yeah, now it's like, guess what, guys? I need to clean house, when he probably would have done it anyway. And now you might have cause, right? We're learning so much about how to fire coaches in the college football world. If you can find some kind of cause, all of a sudden saves you a bunch of money on contracts and everything. So I don't know if just allegedly and being arrested and all that happens. He has been excused by the NBA. They play tomorrow, by the way, under interim head coach. But it'll be Thiago Splitter as the interim. But yeah, Tom Dundon now has a little bit of turmoil going on in his new program. He'll be all right, though. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's complicated. I'll give you that. That whole situation, complicated. Football 4 coming up next. It's Rico's World. We're just living in it. Stick around.
It's the Drive into Fall event at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington, and right now you can drive away in a brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited for as low as $34,500. That's over $10,000 in savings on the SUV you've always wanted. See dealer for details. Luxury, power, and performance, all for a price that'll blow you away. Plus, the largest inventory and best selection in the area to choose from. So get off your keister and get to Heister today. John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Because you guys do everything for the exterior of your home, these things can add up. And there are a lot of people who think, I can't afford this. How can the aluminum company make it easier?
Yeah, well, Adam, we have plans that are 12 months, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 12 months, which make it super affordable for people to do anything on their home, whether it's windows, siding, doors, roofing, gutters, any kind of exterior home improvement. The aluminum company has financing plans that can fit in your budget and make it easy.
So wait a second. I can get everything done, no interest, and no payments for 12 months?
Yeah, and you get a lifetime warranty once the project's done.
I get a lifetime warranty once the project is done?
Yes, sir.
What about my down payment?
No down payment, no
What?
deposit.
No down payment, no deposit.
No payment until the project's done.
No payment till the project's done.
Exactly.
Where do I sign up? Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Again, we have high fire danger for this afternoon with the windy conditions, gusts up to 30 miles per hour. I mean, you shouldn't do any outdoor burning as fires could spread quickly. A nice afternoon, though, temperature-wise, with highs in the low 70s and a chilly night tonight, down to 42 under clear skies. The cool air lingers tomorrow, sunshine, but a high of just 68.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 139 points to 46,730.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Carolina Panthers hosting the Buffalo Bills this weekend. Josh Allen, James Cook, and the Buffalo Bills. Rico Dowdle. I understand why it's a conversation that Chuba, Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, who gets the start, who gets the carries, who gets how much should they split? Is it 1A, 1B? What's the committee? What's the role? I get it because Chuba's a guy that this is actually maybe the hardest part about covering the Panthers. Everybody seems really nice and like they work really hard and that they deserve success. So you never want to say the thing that isn't super complimentary, but Chuba's a great dude. Chuba's the culture. When they signed him to the contract extension last year, it was because he embodied everything that they wanted the Carolina Panthers culture to embody. He was a dog. He was a mid-round pick that grinded his way up to being, 1,000 plus, well over 1,000-yard rusher last year. It's Rico's backfield. It is. And honestly, it's not even a ton to do with Chuba, although Chuba hasn't been as efficient as he was last year. It's not a ton to do with Chuba, and more to do with Rico Dowdle is on a heater right now. And running back is a position where if you have a guy on a heater, you ride that wave. And it's a position where, once you hit 3-4 years into the league, you kind of are what you are. Right? Because I do understand there are certain situations, and I talk about the certain situations, where you might be playing a younger player, even though you know at this very moment another player is better, with the expectation that the younger player needs those reps to get better, right? I've advocated for starting Bryce Young at times in his career over an Andy Dalton type, even though you think Andy Dalton might win you a game today more often than Bryce did. And I'm talking about 2 years ago, a year ago. And the reason why I say that, when I say that, is because I think Bryce needs those games to get better, and he's more about the future, the franchise, everything else. Chuba Hubbard is what Chuba Hubbard is, okay? If you think Rico Dowdle gives you a better chance to win the game right now, it's not like playing Chuba is going to give you all this value over the next 10 years that he's going to gain with this experience. He is what he is. Rico, this is the way I break down the running back usage for the Panthers moving forward. And I don't have a problem with the way they did it last week because they wanted to give Chuba the chance. Moving forward, Rico Dowdle has to be bad for Chuba Hubbard to do anything but spell Rico when he's tired until Rico cools down. Okay, Rico Dowdle would have to have many runs, 5 of them, where he completely misses the assignment, right? Where there is a hole and he misses it. He doesn't press it when he should. He drops a pass. He'd have to do some real heinous things in order for Chuba to take over in any situation other than like, hey, Rico's tired, go put Chuba in. Like, that's always going to be fine. And you're going to be happy to have Chuba in that scenario because he's better than most guys backup. But right now, Rico Dowdle is 3rd in the NFL in rushing yards. 3rd. And there are guys that have been bell cows every game this year up there with him. Rico is 3rd in the NFL in rushing yards, and he was a complimentary back for half the season. And I said this earlier, but I like the way it illustrates my point. He's 3rd in the NFL in rushing yards. To find a running back with a higher yards per carry than Rico Dowdle, you have to go all the way down to the 62nd player in rushing yards on the season to find a running back with a higher yards per carry than Rico Dowdle. And that's Jeremy McNichols, who, quite frankly, he has very few carries and he has a couple long runs, and it's skewed. Rico Dowdle's averaging 5.6 yards per carry, and he has the 3rd most rushing yards in the league. That is efficient, and that is volume. It's his backfield. It's his backfield. And he has earned that right? I don't think this is going against anything, because that's what I think you're worried about. That's what I would be worried about, right? Chuba did everything right. Chuba works hard. Chuba shows up. Chuba leads. Chuba does the breakdowns at practice, right? Panthers on 3, 1, 2, 3, whatever they say. Chuba he does everything right. Is it going against our word if we don't continue to give him 1A or 1B reps? And I'm looking at you going, no. The Panthers have built their entire image on iron sharpens iron. Competition is good at every position, right? That's what they're always talking about. Rico's winning the competition. This is as close to like track and field or swimming as football gets. Right? I always say it was like the football coach and the basketball coach must be jealous of the track and field coach. Right? Because when parents come up to the football coach and go, why isn't my kid playing? He deserves to be starting. The football coach has to say, well, we've been watching film and we actually think, this other guy is doing a better job reach blocking and The track and field coach, right, come up, why isn't my kid on the relay? Why isn't he running the 200-meter dash? You get to grab a sheet, point at times, and go, that's why.
You point to the clock.
Yeah.
That's why.
Because he crosses the line after the kid that's actually on the relay. No, all right, you walk back, right? That's all you can do. And this, like, Rico is just, he's finishing the 100-meter faster than Chuba Hubbard is. So Rico gets to be on the 4x1. Like, it's that simple. You're not going against your culture. You're doing exactly what you've said your culture is. Putting competition with good players at every position, and the one that wins the competition gets the spoils. Dave Canales spoke about how nice it is to keep them fresh, which is always a good point. Here's Canales.
I like the fact that we went into the 4th quarter with 2 really physical and fresh backs. I love that. I love that for finishing games. I love that for how long a season is. When you have 2 guys that you really trust, you just play football with both of them. And they each kind of had a little bit more bounce to their step today, and that's what I want. I want both of those guys to be 100 miles an hour, empty the tank on every carry. That's the attitude that we got to have.
There is a fine line between going into the 4th quarter with fresh running backs and going into the 4th quarter with cold running backs. There is a fine line. Did the Miami game look like Rico was going into the 4th quarter tired?
He did cramp up.
That is true. But every time he touched the ball, he was effective.
True.
And then he came back the next week and had more touches.
And cramped up.
And I guess maybe 34 might be a little much.
Yeah.
Give him 25. Give him 25 and some pickle juice until he's ineffective. And then Chuba's there for when he's tired. That's what I think Chuba's role is, for when he's tired, for when he cramps up. Then Chuba's there. But it's not the time for pacing yourself. Right? And I don't want to pretend like it's not awesome that the Panthers might have to think about, well, we need these guys fresh for December when they might be playing real, meaningful football. Like, I'm glad that that's even on the table, but that's a luxury that the Panthers don't have. You win this week and let December be a problem for future Dave Canales. You score on your drives in the first quarter and let potential cramping in the fourth quarter be problems for fourth quarter Dave Canales. Like, you have to do everything you can to be good because you don't have a lot of wiggle room.
I like the idea, if you're in a winning situation, 4-minute drill late because, hey, we're up by 3. We got to run some clock here, maybe get a field goal to extend our lead, whatever it might be. I like Chuba as the closer. If you make primarily during the course of the game Rico Dowdle, but Chuba Hubbard can grind you 4 yards a carry, 4 yards a carry, 4 yards a carry, has a little bit more of a bruising style. I'm okay with Chuba if he's fresh, because during the course of the game he's had 7-8 carries, comes in and gets 5 carries on out of 7 plays. I'm okay with him being that closer style.
I'm fine with that. The only thing I'd say is I think you need to watch the game, right?
True. If
Chuba's showing no signs of slowing down, I don't think you need to change it up if you don't want to change it up, unless, he's cramping, or unless you're getting way up there in carries, and if Chuba's doing a fine job, that's fine. I just want there to be the proper hierarchy. I don't like one drive, alternating back and forth. I think that's hard for a running back. I think it's hard for a running back. If you want to do, first 2 downs and 1 out or something, like a lot of guys do, a lot of teams do with third down backs or whatever. I think modern running backs are kind of used to coming off the field, getting some water, and going back on. I don't think they're used to, hey, we went 3 and out, that was my series, and I, pass blocked twice and got a screen thrown in the dirt at my feet. Now he gets a drive, and that goes 8 minutes, and now I've got 40 minutes of real time between being out there. I don't think that's good enough for anybody. It's much more important to get your guy going. And I think their guy for now is Rico Dowdle. And do you know what's the best part about it? And it's the same. I'll go back to my track coach analogy. Guess what? If a month later in the season, you're now running better times than this guy, you take your spot, right? You can get it back. If Chuba, it's not like he's going to go from whatever carries he's getting to 0. Right? If he goes out there and averages 5 yards a carry, and if Rico starts averaging 3.6, you can flip it back. That's the beauty. But you got to earn it, right? You got to earn it. I was just talking with Adam Gold. We'll bring it back to the Canes, talking about Andrei Svechnikov, right? And I think Adam, we were both kind of saying we think for the Canes to be their best, Svech has to get back up to the second line. But you don't just do that, right? You got to wait till he does something, right? He's got to put together a couple good games. He's got to score on that fourth line. He's got to do something, and then you elevate him, right? You may want Chuba Hubbard to be the number 1 running back for the Panthers, but you don't just do it. You don't go, all right, Chuba's running for a ridiculous amount of yards, but I want Chuba. Here you go. You got to wait till Chuba outrushes him for a couple games. You got to wait till we're going, geez, he's more explosive and he's not getting as many carries. That's when you do it. We're going on a month where Rico's been one of the best running backs in the entire NFL. Maybe the best running back in the entire NFL over the last 3-4 weeks. You don't put that guy on the bench. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Maybe Rico Dowdle will be my confidence in Panthers cons and cons. Maybe he won't. We have Ladder Challenge, we have cons and cons, and Canes' first goal scorer prediction. So if you haven't done so already, start thinking about who will score the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes and in what period it will be. Wouldn't it be lovely if it were Svech? Just be a nice feeling, huh? That and more coming up next. Stick around.
Do you have a smartphone? Of course you do. Do you have a pocket or pouch or human hand to hold your smartphone? Then you have no excuse. Download the 99.9 The Fan brand new app today and take us with you wherever you go. Your favorite hosts, podcasts, and live sports action all in one place. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Finally, there's an app for 99.9 The Fan. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Stitches, itches, aches, and pains. Strep and sinus, minor sprains. Pink eye, earaches, fever, flu. Virtual visits, physicals too. At WakeMed MyCare 365, we offer both walk-in primary care and urgent care. So find the MyCare location nearest you at wakemed.org. Walk right in, and for just about anything from asthma, rashes, and examinations to x-rays, labs, and vaccinations, make MyCare your care.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All right, so this is a bit of an awkward day to go. Let's jump into our gambling challenge. Bit of a. I just want to let you know we're aware of the irony here, but also, you know what? First of all, I'll give you the latest updates. ESPN just sent out a notification, came from my ESPN app on my phone. I'll read it to you in its entirety. It's reporting done by Dave McMenamin of ESPN. And this involving, for those of you that haven't heard yet, there was a FBI investigation into a sports gambling ring that has alleged that players and coaches fed information and at times even pulled themselves out of games in order to make sure that certain bets hit certain ways, and hundreds of thousands of dollars were bet, and a lot went on. And then there is a kind of tangential investigation connected by the defendants being involved in both, some of the defendants being involved in both, into a rigged poker game scheme that took place across the country. Big money with spy gadgets. We're talking secret contact lenses that could read marked cards, and tables and shufflers that could communicate what the cards were to different, like super spy stuff. So all that's going on. And I get this notification 3 minutes ago from ESPN, again reporting by Dave McMenamin. Bettors allegedly received privileged injury information on LeBron James from former Cavs coach Damon Jones, according to Dave McMenamin's reporting. Damon Jones is one of the defendants that was arrested for all of the alleged crimes that we've been discussing earlier today. Damon Jones played in the NBA for a long time with LeBron, and then also coached for a few years with the Cavs when LeBron was playing for the Cavs. If injury information regarding LeBron James is on the line, these are some of the biggest games in basketball. And this is going to get uglier and messier before it gets better because, if LeBron James information, I'm not saying LeBron James is involved. I'm saying if information about LeBron James is involved, then who knows how many of these games and betting and gambling lines and everything else were moved. Dennis, were you being honest or joking with the question you asked during the commercial break? Or do you mind if I bring up the question you asked?
What was the question?
If you bet on one of these games and lost, could you sue the players or the coaches that were kind of involved in fixing?
Yeah, that's a fantastic thought. Hey, wait a second, I have money on this game to go over or whatever it might be, and then all of a sudden, wait a sec, you fixed that game. You cost me money. Why can't I come for you for potentially, again, what I lost on the bet, whatever it might be, or what I would have won?
There's a million ways it impacts everything, right? What about this? Line movement, right? Damon Jones tells somebody that LeBron James isn't playing, so they go ahead and bet a whole bunch of money against the Cavs. Line moves. Now, we're all impacted by it. Everybody that's betting on a LeBron James basketball game, which is huge. Huge. And do you know we're all processing this in real time, and everything is alleged, although I would assume the FBI doesn't go around the country, tracking people down and arresting them unless they're pretty confident in their case. The part, the reason why I kind of stepped out here and made a special announcement about this bit of information that the allegations include privileged injury information on LeBron James being given to bettors from former Cavs assistant coach Damon Jones is because huge bets on LeBron James games are much more common, right? I think Terry Rozier, again, another one of the players indicted here, and was a member of the Charlotte Hornets at the time. I think that's more red flag inducing. If somebody bets a huge amount of money on an under for a above average but not superstar guard in a Charlotte Hornets game, flags, whistles, sirens, right? They're going to see that. If somebody bets a huge amount of money on a LeBron James game, that's a Tuesday, right? People like watching LeBron. So information involving him, and also with how good he is and how central he is to his team, information regarding him is quite frankly more valuable and more difficult to catch. The NBA has an issue here. They got a problem. However, this is just me now. Occasionally I call it quarterback nerd. Occasionally I sports media nerd, right? Things that I care about a ton. I don't think there is the same gross hypocrisy that we're going to go from talking about how bad of a decision much of what's being alleged was, right? How horrendous this is for the sport, that these nefarious actors were allegedly throwing games, passing along information, tainting the gambling pool, the sports books, potentially costing us money. And then we are going to go into our ladder challenge, which is a gambling game we play. And I don't think that is the hypocrisy that many make it out to be. Any more so than saying a sports show. Let me step back. I'm seeing a lot of this. I'll actually go to Jimmy Traina. Okay, Jimmy Traina is he covers sports media, and I'll give you his full breakdown here. Jimmy Traina, he writes for Sports Illustrated, SI Now, and he's the host of the SI Media podcast. And I saw this quote earlier today. Every sports talk radio show will feature a host going into a holier-than-thou rant about sports betting and cry about what a dark day this is for sports while going into a live read for DraftKings or FanDuel. I don't see the hypocrisy there any more so than NASCAR airing a don't drink and drive PSA. They're going to be in a car driving in a legal way in which you should, and then they're going to talk about all the things you shouldn't do because it's illegal behind a wheel. They're two different things. Betting on sports legally, on things that you are allowed to bet on, the little bit of, a couple of dollars here, a couple of dollars there I do on my phone to make Thursday night football more interesting to me, that's legal. That's legal. A coach feeding information to sports gamblers about injuries that are not known to the public, that's illegal. It's not holier than thou to say the things that are illegal are bad, the things that are legal aren't bad. And matter of fact, you could easily argue, and I'm not going to go into all the specifics because it's a deep conversation with much nuance and context. You could argue that legal sports gambling makes it much more likely that people that do wrong are caught. Because bookies don't have the nationwide contacts, right? The guy that you used to gamble with who, had a small bookmaking business in your town, he doesn't know. He's not flagged when somebody in another town bets the under on Terry Rozier points for huge money. So when someone comes up to him and tries to bet the under on Terry Rozier points, they don't connect those dots that something weird's happening. I don't think this is some indictment on sports gambling. I think it's an indictment on people that do dumb stuff. Just like I don't think when somebody drinks and drives and causes a bad accident, that's not an indictment on anyone that's ever gotten behind the wheel of a car. It's the ones that have done something stupid. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, which is why I don't feel bad or hypocritical in the least when I say, let's fire up the ladder challenge.
Oh, my God! And for the 20-foot ladder with a spear on Jeff Hardy. For the love of God, Jeff Hardy may be broken. Smack dab in half.
The ladder challenge. It is a gambling challenge where Dennis and I find it likely to win bets, -500 to -1,000. Each day we place a bet. And if we win, the only rule is you roll over your winnings. So $10 we start with. You make a bet, you win. The next day you roll over the stake. The winnings, you make another one. If you lose, you go back to $10. Whoever has the most money at the end of the month wins. Last night, we both had overs and three-pointers for different players on the Hornets.
Yep.
I had LaMelo Ball, 2 or more threes versus Brooklyn. He finished he had 4. He had 4 in the win, 4 for 8. Plenty, double what I needed. So I'm up to $21.06, more than 2x my money. Dennis, how'd it go for you?
I have Brandon Miller of the Hornets hitting at least 2 3-pointers, which he did, so I'm up to 16-27.
And we continue. We roll on. I'll lead off. Today there's Thursday Night Football.
There is.
There's also Hockey Night in Carolina, just scheduling-wise. I'm taking the Chargers plus 7.5 versus the Vikings.
Okay, that's another bet that I almost took.
I could have teased it all the way down to plus 9.5.
Yeah.
And still been within our parameters, but I figured that a touchdown should be enough. So a touchdown and a hook. The Chargers on just the straight spread are 3.5-point favorites. So I've teased that to 7.5-point dogs. Carson Wentz is still playing. I don't know if that's good or bad for the Vikings, but I just think the Chargers are ready to roll. It would turn my $21.06 into $24.11, and then hopefully we'll hit Friday with a winning streak still intact. Dennis, what are you doing today?
So I was actually looking at our good old friends over here, but in the Carolina Hurricanes and the Colorado Avalanche tonight.
AKA Whalers and Nordiques.
Whalers, Nordiques. Give me Nordique defenseman Cale Makar. 2+ shots on goal. Have it exactly at -500. 2+ shots on goal for Cale Makar tonight. So my $16.27 on a -500 will turn into $19.52.
Speaking of that game, actually, you know what? Yeah, we may have to push Panthers cons and cons to later because speaking of that game, I have a question for you, Dennis.
Okay.
Walt Ruff, Canes team reporter,
all right,
earlier today put out the lines from Morning Skate.
Mm-hmm.
Are you fascinated at all by Nikishin Legault being paired on the blue line? Miller, Walker at the top. Obviously, Keandre Miller, Sean Walker, that's to be expected. Mike Riley and Jalen Chatfield on that second defensive pairing. And then Alexander Nikishin and Charles Alexis Legault, which I think if you combine their two entire NHL regular season appearances, you're in the single digits.
Yeah, it's 7.
You're at
Nikishin at 6, Legault with 1.
So that is, at the very least, a very green blue line pairing. See what I did there? Little Whalers.
Green and blue. I like it.
You're putting them out there against a team with some dudes that can score the puck. What's the strategy behind it, I guess? What's the idea behind Legault and Nikishin pairing on that third defensive pairing?
I think it allows Rod that he can put Miller and Walker out there whenever the top
as
line
often
is
as
out
possible.
There. But then Riley and Chatfield is probably more sound defensively.
I agree.
So if you can put them against either one of the top lines for the Colorado Avalanche, and you'll be just fine. I think you'll see Legault and Nikishin get a lot of – there's an offensive zone face-off for the Canes. You're going to see those two guys going out there a lot. I think that's where you're going to see it. But it doesn't mean you can't give Nikishin still more minutes. I don't think you'll lose that with those two.
Let me float an idea at you.
Okay.
We were talking earlier today about Mike Riley's power play usage.
Mm-hmm.
Last game, I believe he was featured on that second unit power play. It does not appear as if he will today, based on how they've been skating at morning skate and things.
Yeah, how they practiced yesterday. He wasn't on the unit.
I think they might be anticipating Chatfield and Riley eating some innings. Yes. Where they're going to be out there for big minutes. So they're like, we don't even want you thinking about power play because you and Chat, like you brought it up, Miller and Walker out there as often as you can against kind of the dudes, right? You want those guys to be, the premier. But then I think Chatfield and Riley might be out there for like a half hour. They might be out there for just a long time. And taking Riley out of that second unit power play rotation gives them, all right, if we're on that power play, you guys are grabbing some water and catching your breath because you're going to have to be ready to go out there. And then you have the guys with 7 career NHL regular season games between the two of them as the third line pairing, and you brought it up. You put them in as advantageous a situation as you can find, offensive zones, when momentum's going in your direction, when there's opportunities for you to get those guys out there, you do it, but you know that Chatfield and Riley, long shifts, often shifts, can make it happen. Because Riley's not going to be on that power play unit, and it's not like no offense to Riley, they're not going to miss him in a huge way out of the power play. I think they have other guys that can step in there.
And it's all fluid, too. That's the thing as well. Like, doesn't mean you can't put Nikishin out there for extra shifts and things along those lines. It's just I think one thing that people and even media, I'll include us in this, is that we lose sight of the fact that during the course of the game, all it takes is just a quick, hey, you go with him, go with him.
Well, we obviously overthink pairings.
Yeah.
And I think about this often in games. A couple weeks before the season started, Rod Brindamore came into our studios and did the long-form interview with Adam Gould.
Mm-hmm.
And Rod was almost chuckling, and he said, you guys, meaning the media, think about our line changes so much. He's like, sometimes a guy just broke a skate lace. And so it's like, oh, he's down. Okay, you get out there with him. And then, he checks, hears from somebody in the PR department after the game, like, there's long-form articles about so-and-so skating with so-and-so. And he's just like, oh, no, his lace broke. He had to, okay, sure. Yeah, whatever they want to think. Like, the lines obviously can shake up. But I do think, how they start is like an ideal, right? You got a plan there. The other part that's interesting, and this isn't as loosey-goosey once the game starts, Frederick Anderson was not on the ice for morning skate. So Brandon Bussey was obviously in the starter's crease, which Walt Ruff says could just be a morning off for Anderson, a little rest. But it could also mean the Canes continuing with their 1-1-1-1 rotation and goal, which, Brandon Bussey's still brand new. Like, that is, you combine him with the other two that I mentioned, Nikishin and Legault, and you add in Bussey, they're up to what? 9 total NHL appearances in the regular season. That's an interesting one if they go with Bussy. But obviously they're confident in Freddie Anderson as a every other game goalie, which we saw them do last year with Pyotr Kochetkov up until the postseason. That's line talk with The Drive here on 99.9 The Fan. Let's get to something more fun and a little bit more whimsy. First goal scorer predictions. Who's going to score the first goal for the Canes, and in what period will they score it? We want to hear 3 callers. Heister Automotive Group Hotline, 919-860-5326. Those 2 pieces of information and whatever additional detail you want to give for bragging rights. Who scores the first goal for the Canes, and in what period? 919-860-5326. Still looking for our first caller to get it right this year. So I'm putting the pressure on you. Get it right. I want a winner. 919-860-5326. While Dennis fields those calls, I'll give you the rundown from the personalities around 99.9 The Fan. Max Gorin, producer of Next Up with Paul Ihander. He has Svetch in the second, assisted by Kokaniemi. Paul Ihander, host of Next Up and our program director, has the youngster, Jackson Blake. First period, 5-on-5, called it a rando goal. Victoria, who is the only member of our staff to have a bullseye. Jarvis in the first with an Aho assist. Adam Gold, you all know Adam. He went with, I like the dart throw, Mike Riley in the first. He went with Mike Riley in the first. Not a ton of additional details, but if you get that one right, you don't need it. Those are the ones locked in. Dennis and I will give you ours in a second. But first, we have Tim and Zebulon on the line. All of our lines are filled up, ready to roll. Tim, welcome to the show. Who scores the first goal tonight, and in what period?
Hey, Tim, I got to go with Ehlers.
Ehlers, and in what period?
Not quite my bedtime, but late first.
All right. These late games are for the birds, aren't they?
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so you have late first. Any other details you want to give us for bragging rights? Is it a power play? Is it a rebound? Anything more specific?
Let's go shorthanded goal end of the first.
All right. House rule, if you pick shorthanded, you have to tell us who's in the box.
Oh, shoot. Aho deserves it. Aho deserves a fight tonight. Let's go there.
Aho fight in the box. Ehlers gets the shorty. I love it. Thank you very much, Tim.
There's a lot there.
There is a lot there. I agree. If that happens, buy a lotto ticket. Appreciate it, Tim. Kyle in Wake Forest is up next. Kyle in Wake Forest, who scores the first goal for the Canes, and in what period?
Hey, it's good to talk to you. Tim stole my thunder. I was going to pick shorthanded as well, but we're going to go. We're going to get a bogus penalty in the first, and then we're going to get an Aho shorthanded goal assisted from Jarvis, and we're going to have Svetch in the box.
All right. You're a real random, real off the wall, lot of unpredictable, and then who's in the box? Svetch. That's right. That's right down Main Street.
There we go.
All right, we appreciate it. Go ahead and stay on the line. Although, real quickly, shout out to Svetch for staying out of the box. Right, like we're joking like it's Svetch from last year. Thus far this year, he hasn't had some of those penalties that we joke about.
We keep saying he's due, right?
We keep saying he's due. We're talking about goals and assists, Dennis.
Hey, we want the full Svetch experience. Just saying.
Full Svetch experience. There's that's a list of 12 things that would have to happen. Topher and Raleigh, our final caller. Topher and Raleigh, who scores the first goal for the Canes, and in what period?
Jarvis on a power play, and I got to go Jack Drury in the box.
All right. That's not even – the house rule is usually only for shorthanded, but I like predicting who on the other teams in the box. I like it.
I know quite a few Avs players, so,
Yeah, I think we all do from our previous relationships. Either way, appreciate it, Topher. Thank you very much for the call, and good luck to you. Jack Drury in the box, Jarvis power play goal.
Look at all these on special teams with the 2 of the worst power plays in the entire league.
Well,
we
2
do
of
have
them are
shorties,
shorties, though.
We do have shorties, though.
2 of them are shorties.
Maybe that's the play tonight. Maybe that is. Maybe we're going to get more shorthanded goals tonight than we are power play goals.
Honestly, I don't even think that's that bold of a take.
It's really not, actually. When you really think about it, it's not.
All right, Dennis, you got to lock yours in. First goal scorer predictions. Who you got?
I actually thought long and hard about this one.
I'm glad.
Give me former Colorado Avalanche defenseman Sean Walker tonight.
Oh.
Sean Walker, second period, even strength.
Even strength against his old team. I'm going almost completely opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Nikolai Ehlers in the first. and I know I've said this a bunch of times, but I have a different reason for it tonight.
Okay.
Like if it happens, I'm going to get it right. I'm not going to bail on it now. I think there's a lot of reasons for a lot of people to be kind of mental pretzels here. He's the one playing free, right? He doesn't have a ton of former teammates on the other side. He doesn't have a trade looming over him. He doesn't have all these complicated, I played alongside Brent Burns for all those years, and he's getting $1,500. Oh, last time I wore the Whalers jersey, I was good. I have to live up to that. He doesn't have any of that. Sean Walker's got to go try to show them what they could have had if they kept him around. He doesn't have any of that. He's there just willy-nilly, loose as a goose, free as a bird, playing hockey. Nikolai Ehlers, first period, Seth Jarvis shot, and then Ehlers off the rebound. That's what we're going with. And it's even strength, by the way. I'm not going power play. I have been going a lot of Ehlers power play. Let's just say I can't do everything the same. That one stings a lot. If you go onto my Twitter, @DonnellySports, you can respond to a tweet there with your first goal scorer predictions, and if you get it right, I will give you some love. Dennis, as always, we have our YouTube live stream also open.
We do. Brandon says, I'm going to go with Jarvis in the first period. Boring pick today. Hey, you know what? Boring is okay. If Jarvis scores first today in the first, that's fine.
Sometimes I think that's ridiculous. Like, just because I monitor on Twitter who gets them right, sometimes it'll be like Aho in the first off a Jarvis assist, and there's like one person that predicted it. Meanwhile, there's like 38 people that chose Charles Alexis Legault, and I'm going like, I think we're trying too hard to be different here. Sometimes you just got to pick Jarvis in the first and up your chances of being right.
I mean, depends. Is Chauncey Billups involved? Super Skater Man says Keandre Miller from the slot in the first period.
Don't hate it.
We also have, I don't hate any of them. That's the fun thing about it. Let's see. Also, our guy Micah says Svetch in the first, gets bumped up to the second line after the goal and starts to build some momentum. Gibby says Ehlers from Aho on a 2-on-1 in the first period, which is also another popular one out there as well. So, yes, there's that. By the way, little Canes news here for you real fast.
Oh, interesting.
So we actually saw earlier today, I guess it was actually happened a couple days ago, but the Carolina Hurricanes put defenseman Jacob Slavin on injured reserve. It's just simply just a roster move. It frees up a roster spot.
Just a paper move.
And then the Canes actually just announced about 20 minutes ago that Joel Nystrom got recalled from Chicago, called up from Chicago, defenseman from the American Hockey League. So he's 23 years old. He's appeared in 3 AHL games this season. He's got an assist. He's +2. A little bit of a smaller guy, 5'11", 178. But they brought up Nystrom probably just to be, hey, if we need another body to go in and play today, there it is.
That's if somebody, you don't want to say it out loud, but if somebody tweaks a groin a little bit in warm-ups, you want to have somebody there that can step right in.
Exactly.
And it happens, even though you don't want to bring it up. There's a lot of good ones on Twitter. I won't be able to read them all, but I'll put it this way. The Canes fan base very much uses first goal scorer predictions to will things into existence. There's a lot of Svetch. There's a lot of Ehlers. There's a lot of people out there that would like to see those guys get going, and I think that includes all of us. So credit to them. And if you do get it right, I'll scroll through and make sure you get your love on Twitter and bring it up on air and all that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. When you are watching your favorite professional hockey team or any professional team, check online. They do a lot of the tunnel walks, players walking in. Look at their wrist. A lot of them have some pretty sweet wristwear, some pretty sweet watches. And why? Because it's a statement, right? You're walking in. What your watch says could be anything. Could be it's a business trip, right? We're here. We're ready to win. We're going to take names and head home. Could be I'm here. I'm having a good time. Things are going well. Good locker room culture. Maybe you get a rubber strap on a very nice watch with a little bit of color there to let everybody know you're having a good time. You get maybe a classic watch. Maybe you have throwback jerseys on like some teams have tonight, and you're grabbing a pre-owned or vintage Rolex from the 80s, throwing that on your wrist, walking in. It's all meant for the moment, right? You can make a statement in a bunch of different ways. Bailey's Fine Jewelry and the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. It's there for you to make those statements. It's there. When you walk into the boardroom, what do you want everybody to think about you? When you walk into the wedding, when you walk into the happy hour, when you're with your buddies, what do you want your watch to say about you? Then go to the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop and grab that Rolex or grab that Omega, grab that Norcane, that Hamilton, that Blancpain, that Glashütte Original that says what you want to say. Don't forget, holidays are coming up. Great marker of the moment, right? Timestamp. Anniversaries, graduations, all of it. It's all at Bailey's Fine Jewelry in their Village District location. Let them know when you get there that you heard about it from me, Tim, on 99.9 The Fan. Coming up next, we have a feedback frenzy. We'll hear from many of you from the interwebs. Coming up next.
The Adam Gold Show.
See, I don't think it's too hard to ask Bill Belichick to explain why he thinks they're better. You could say, Clemson's got pros. We don't have pros. I see us getting better in practice. I know you're not there. But he is not willing to do that. And until he lowers himself to that, we're always going to be skeptical.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Hello, I'm Jen, and I work in the service department with Newcomb & Company in the Triangle. I've worked at Newcomb & Company for over a decade and can tell you firsthand our comfort contract is hands down the best way to stay worry-free and comfortable in your home. In fact, the program works so well, we have over 4,000 customers who use it. Folks love it because when you sign up for the comfort contract, you get the best service Newcomb offers. We prioritize contract members with same-day service, priority scheduling, and emergency after-hours calls. So there's no waiting when your system needs help. On top of that, Newcomb & Company is a proud independent Trane dealer. We back exceptional Trane products with our expert service, and we treat your home like it's our own. It's hard to stop a Trane, and it's hard to beat Newcomb & Company service. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com to learn more about our comfort contract. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $650 million now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $650 million. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 291 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, it's Dennis Cox from 99 on The Fan for my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Something that I have always appreciated about the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center is the fact that it's a plan. They actually give you a direct plan to follow. And I've stuck with that plan for 2.5 months, and I've lost 40 pounds. That's right, 40 pounds lost in 2.5 months thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and I've been keeping that weight off too. They give you an actual plan to follow. I know how frustrating it can be when you're not entirely sure what that first step needs to be, but that's where Raleigh Weight Loss Center comes in. They have an actual plan for you to follow on that weight loss journey. And if you have questions or concerns about Raleigh Weight Loss Center or what the program entails, you can set up a free 15-minute consultation by giving them a call, 919-897-7506, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. If you have questions or concerns or maybe some health concerns about maybe going on to a weight loss journey, have them answer those questions. 919-897-7506, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
Andy's coming, everybody! Back to your places! Hurry! Get to your place! Get to your place! Where's my ear? Who's in my ear? Did you see my ear? Wait! Here I come! Here I come!
The name is Dowdle.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Carolina Panthers play on Sunday against the Bills. The Carolina Hurricanes play tonight. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan against the Avs. There's college football over the weekend. There was NBA basketball. Charlotte Hornets won last night. There's everything's going on, so we thought what better time for a feedback frenzy where you can react to all the conversations we've had here on air in whichever way you see fit. And we bring those conversations on air. Here you go, Dennis. What do we have?
All right, so here we go. We actually mentioned earlier about the Carolina Hurricanes. It looks like at least at the start of the game, we're going to have Alexander Nikishin and Charles Alexis Legault, a couple rookies, paired up together. And our good friend Micah in Morrisville says that pairing together in 5 years is going to be fire.
This is just the preview. This is just the wetting your whistle.
Yeah.
With two of the.
Or they'll just be in their primes.
Also, when you mentioned they brought up Joel Nystrom, just the roster spot, need the extra defenseman, and the way you said it, something like, not that big, and he was 5'11", some odd pounds. I went, well, compared to the defensemen they've been bringing up, right? Because everybody else is 6'4", 220. He's probably like, I'm not small. Just when I stand next to those guys, I don't look big. That's not fair. It's like Derek Lively last night trying to guard Victor Wembanyama. He's like, I'm 7 feet tall. He's just 7.5 feet tall. It's it's all relative.
I mean, let's be honest. If you're, for example, like Derek Lively, when's the last time you had to look up to somebody?
Probably, not since he was growing. At his current height, he's probably never had to legit tilt his head up.
Anyway, kind of a weird thing to see. All right, let's actually go to the NFL. Let's actually go with the Carolina Panthers. We had a conversation yesterday about will the Panthers look different with Andy Dalton at quarterback. This one comes from Danger Zone. Being able to throw further than 3-4 yards will definitely help the play. The mobility of Andy Dalton might be in question, but at least we can rule out panic fumbles. Just keep feeding Rico, and we should be okay.
Don't you tempt Andy with a panic fumble.
Hey, true.
I mean, obviously, I don't think his arm is a ton stronger if it is stronger than Bryce's. I wouldn't even be surprised if Bryce's is a decent amount stronger just by age and youth and vitality. But one thing Andy has is a willingness to throw it deep, which I don't want a quarterback nerd out too hard. I think a straight deep ball is something that is kind of being coached out of younger quarterbacks. If you grew up Andy Dalton's age, and he's even a bit older than me, you grew up with a little bit of old school Kubiak, play action, sometimes under center, 7-step drop, I'm chucking it deep. A lot of if you go to a high school 7-on-7 now, it's West Coast quick game, baby. It's catch ball out. It's a lot of this fast stuff. And I don't know, it just seems like the newer quarterbacks, they don't have kind of that John Elway, John Wayne, the I'm just going to let this bad boy rip and try to throw it 50, 60 yards downfield. Andy Dalton will cut it loose. I was so surprised, actually, it's your Steelers. Aaron Rodgers' Hail Mary was 69.7 yards in the air, and it's the longest any ball had been in the air for I don't know, it's 10 years at least since they started measuring the air yards or whatever.
Probably since P.J. Walker's big deep pass.
That was crazy to me. Not because, it wasn't a good throw, but because we know Josh Allen and those guys exist and they can throw it 75. They were never in a Hail Mary situation where they just had to launch it. I don't know. The deep ball, I don't want it to go extinct, and Andy's not afraid to keep it rolling.
That's actually what Indy Finn says. Indy Finn on that same video says, what we will see is the field stretch because of Dalton. No defense is really scared of Bryce Young in any respect, but Dalton's arm with T-Mac and XL will actually maybe open up the run game even further. Keep safeties back a little bit.
I'm fine with that. I will say at times this year, when Xavier Legette was hurt and Jimmy Horn Jr. wasn't on the roster, there wasn't a ton of field stretching that was possible. With both of them back, you should be able to stretch the field a good amount, right? Those are two guys that are legit fast, and not to mention Tetero and McMillan with the stride. So they can test them deep this week if they want to with Andy.
All right, let's go to the conversation we had yesterday regarding Andrei Svechnikov. About how he basically needs to get going. So this one comes from Let's Go Canes. Saying Andrei Svechnikov, my apologies. Andrei Svechnikov is on a terrible line right now. Right now he's been skating with Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Eric Robinson. So he's skating on a horrible line, limited ice time, and he just is disinterested, it appears.
Ricochet shot to Kotkaniemi and Robinson.
Hey, I mean, Eric Robinson scored goals this season.
True. Kotkaniemi, he's put up more points than Svech.
Yep. Less games.
Here's the Svech of it all. That fourth line is actually a pretty good fourth line.
It really is.
Like, I don't want to. It's definitely not in the running for worst anything. But I mean, if you're a second liner and you're playing with a fourth line, guess what your job is? To raise the level of the fourth line. You're a second line player. And until Svech starts doing that, I think it's hard to move him back up to the second line. What did they say at the end about being disinterested? Something like that?
He's disinterested. That's
a bigger problem than anything. It's if you're seeing him and his body language or his vibe is telling you that he is disinterested, that's the biggest problem I've heard.
This actually comes from Jeff Foxworthy. Great name. I'm sorry, Jeff Fox Noteworthy. My apologies for screwing up the name. He says, I think the only thing I see wrong with Andrei Svechnikov is his heart. He pouts when he is not on the top line. He's on the fourth line with some power play time, so he should be dominating the opposing players.
Miles and miles of heart. Quote Jimmy McGinty.
Yeah.
Played by the late Gene Hackman in the cinematic classic The Replacements. Was that commenter trying to get Shane Falco to take over at halftime?
Might be.
Listen, I have a hard time questioning an athlete's heart, especially one like Andrei Svechnikov that has been through some trials and tribulations. He's battled back from injury. He's been through a lot. Disinterested and lack of heart to me are a little different, although from the same family. I have a hard time doing that to an athlete, so I won't. But I will say, I think tonight would be a good game for Svech to play with his hair on fire. Right? I think tonight would be a good game for him to fly around, swing for the fences on some big hits and things. And if somebody wants to go, let's see what's up. I think tonight would be a good game for Svech to be the spark, if you will.
Get a little angry. All right, last one here, quick. We've got a minute left. This one comes from CAG. We had a conversation yesterday about UNC football having some players leave. And again, it's not unique to UNC football to see players leave during the middle of the season. But CAG says, because we talked about how athletes, looking out for their future and what's best. The CAG says that's exactly what Bill Belichick is doing. He's looking out what is best for him. So why shouldn't the players feel the same way?
I think it's and who was it? It was Nick Saban.
Mm-hmm.
I think this era of college sports is more business decision oriented, and that goes in every direction. Nick Saban was saying all of the money being spent on players is what's going to lead to some high-profile coaching firings because the boosters and everybody have to look out for, hey, I gave you all this money. You didn't come through with results. You got to go. Coaches are going to be sitting around going, hey, listen, you didn't get it done on the field. You got to go. Players are going to be looking at coaches saying, you didn't get it done. I got to go. There's definitely a lot of looking out what's best for me, decisions being made at every level of college football right now, which doesn't feel the most like kumbaya and warm and comfy, but it's the reality. It's what it is. Thank you to everybody that interacts with us online. We really appreciate it. Subscribe to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan, over 20,000 subscribers now. We're hunting for 25K. Please, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it if you subscribed and told your friends and all that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We do have the starting five coming up next. But first, here's our very own Dennis Cox.
That's right. Dennis Cox here for Loan Pronto. Folks, what if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate to 4.99% APR. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low, so act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 five-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Back with the starting five coming up next.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Colorado.
They score! And it's a milestone goal for the captain, Jordan Stahl's 300th.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 8:30. Puck drop at 9.
Jarvis scores! He does it in overtime again! Carolina wins it in overtime!
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
It's the final shot at the Championship 4. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Hello, I'm John Heister for John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Varina. And you know, people are asking us, how are you selling so many cars all of a sudden? Well, did you know that the Beltline has opened up the outer loop? We're only 28 minutes from Knightdale. We're only 19 minutes from Clayton and 15 minutes from Apex. We're now the most convenient Chevrolet dealership to reach in the Triangle. It's just one more reason to get off your keister and come to Heister.
Now at John Heister Chevrolet, get up to $12,000 off a new 2025 Silverado 1500. Includes trade assistance. See dealer for details. Together, let's drive.
At Smith Douglas Homes, we're proud to support our hometown heroes, teachers, healthcare workers, firefighters, and military. As a thank you, receive a $2,500 credit towards your new home purchase. Explore SmithDouglas.com. Smith Douglas, where it's your home, your choice, within reach.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. A frost advisory is in effect for the first time this season tonight. 40 degrees the low in Raleigh, but some of the more rural cities may wake up to some patchy light frost Friday morning. Friday afternoon, it's mostly sunny and less windy with a high of 68.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today, up 144 points to 46,734.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. It is a hockey night in Carolina. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan and on the 99.9 The Fan app. And at the moment, it is time for the starting five, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So sportsdata.com, which is really a USA Today entity, put out an article today on college football general manager and front office salaries. UNC fans, you may want to, I don't know, sit down to take a load off, do something, try to relax, because you're not going to like what I have to tell you. Of the salaries that they were able to find, and obviously private schools and everything don't have salaries that are publicly available at all points in time, but a lot of schools are. Michael Lombardi, the general manager for the North Carolina Tar Heels football program, is far and away the highest paid front office executive in college football. His salary is actually a little bit higher than I thought it was. or his total pay, I should say, is a little bit higher than I thought it was. It's not $1.5 million. It's $1.51 million. And that one represents another $10,000, which I don't think should be forgotten. $1.51 million per year for North Carolina's general manager, Michael Lombardi. To put that into perspective, the next two highest paid general managers are Mike Pantoni at Ohio State and Marshall Malchow at Oregon, who each make $900,000. Of the front office employees that they were able to find salaries for, there is one making over $1 million, and he's making $1.51 million at the University of North Carolina. They are, to put it frank, not a good football team. So you're paying top shelf prices for not a top shelf result, right? The roster and everything do not look like they've been splurged on. And I don't want to pile on. UNC's not having a good year. We're going to talk about it. I think this gets to the root of what I believe one of the bigger problems of UNC and how they've operated under Bill Belichick is. They've shown up in college football with very few people with a ton of college football experience. I don't think they knew what the market was for any of this. I think that they spent handsomely on a bunch of transfers and maybe got taken by a couple agents or something. It just seems like that they paid $2 million for Gio Lopez, reportedly. I think that, $1.5 million for a general manager probably doesn't seem that crazy when you're coming from the NFL. If you were in college, you would have known, let's start around $500,000 and go from there. Right?
Yeah, $500,000 puts you right there at top 13.
Very good. You're spending. You're up there with the group. And I think that happened maybe on the roster, maybe in the front office, maybe kind of everywhere. They're not getting the same value, the same bang for their buck that a lot of other teams are because they didn't know what the market was.
So you look at the top schools. Number 1, North Carolina. I'll just go down the list here real fast. Ohio State in order. Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, Nebraska, Cal, Oklahoma, Louisville, Texas, Kansas, Texas Tech, Iowa, Virginia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Minnesota, Georgia Tech, Clemson, NC State. That's the top 20.
A lot of good programs there.
A lot of really good programs. A lot of programs with a lot of wins. The Ohio State GM is second. Like you said, they won a national championship last year, and he's been there for 9 years.
They pay. If you look at the highest paid quarterbacks, there's a lot of guys with high QBRs, high passer ratings, and kind of right there in that middle of the upper range mix is Gio Lopez, who I'm not 100% sure is thrown for 200 yards yet.
By the way, I did mention NC State, 20th on the list. Andy Vaughn, their general manager, making $375,000.
Which, by the way, awesome salary.
Oh, yeah.
Good money. Not $1.5 million. And according to the USA Today article, the school buyout for Michael Lombardi is $3.1875 million. So almost $3.2 million to buy him out. Nobody else on the list more than $2,050,000. Everything is just inflated. Tennessee's GM is making $150K.
That's Tennessee.
Who's
the college football playoff team.
Texas A&M, $200K for their GM. Again, I'm not acting like I don't want to scoff at $200,000. This is a nice chunk of change. But it's Texas A&M.
Who's spending money left and right.
They're known for just having oodles and oodles of cash.
It's oil money. Michigan just won a national championship a couple years ago. Their GM's $360,000.
Overspending for the wrong positions, not playing market value. It's just making your job more difficult. And by the way, we've all, at least you catch yourself in these situations, right? Something unique will come up. I don't know. You're on Facebook Marketplace looking for this has happened not long ago. Looking for weights and stuff for your I want to put weights in my garage, right? I'm going to be honest. I'm not often in the market for weights and squat racks and things, right? So I have no idea what it's worth. I see on Facebook, this one's for $200. You get into the negotiation, it's like, what were you hoping to pay? And I'm like, I have no idea what a good number is here, right? You feel like Dr. Evil, right? $1 billion trillion. Everybody just laughs at you, right? Because you don't know what the dollar's worth. Like, I'm not 100% sure that UNC knew they overpaid their GM till this article came out. They're like, you got yours for $200,000? Or maybe a better example would be that We're the Millers meme, where it's like, you got paid $1 million. I'm doing it for $100,000. You got paid $100,000. I got paid $20,000. You guys are getting paid. Like nobody knows what the going rate is. That's you need some people with knowledge of the market.
It's also one thing as well is that, okay, if you spend all this money and if you're getting results, then okay.
Maybe you're spending the right and everybody else is spending wrong.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it different, you put yourself on a limb. You might get chopped off. That's number 5. Let's hit number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together.
So the NBA got rocked today.
Yeah.
Do you think the FBI waited until like the first few games were played to then?
Right.
So first of all, if you're just listening, you just heard me go NBA to FBI, and you're probably like, what is going on? The FBI arrested a bunch of people, including Terry Rozier, including the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, Chauncey Billups, including former longtime NBA player and assistant coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Damon Jones, in 2 different indictments. One about sports gambling corruption, players tipping off bettors of insider information, at times tipping them off that they're going to pull themselves from a game early so the bettors can go bet huge amounts of money on all of the unders for prop bets. And then a second indictment, which has a few of the same defendants, involved rigged, high-money, illegal poker games and card games. It's a lot of details. There's some high-tech stuff, some very clunky criminal actions. Dennis, I have one hypothetical question, okay? And we've already talked about the severity and the importance of this. Like, there are real crimes being committed. Real people lost their money. FBI has to do what they have to do to get to the bottom of all of that. The mafia is involved. Go read about it. There's some details. I can't give it all to you in 4 minutes. Do you think there was a professional athlete? And the investigation reportedly went on 7 years. Do you think there was a professional athlete in the last 7 years that played a game so poorly played that the FBI showed up and investigated them for fixing the game, and they had to earnestly convince the FBI, no, I wasn't fixing the game. I absolutely tried my hardest and just played that bad. And it was completely innocent, just bad play. And they had to, prove that in an investigation.
No, that's funny.
It may have looked like I threw that interception right at the linebacker intentionally. But no, I was trying my best.
Sounds like Jameis Winston.
Was there? I just imagine, because if you look at, right now, go online, search Terry Rozier, some of the games, the game that's, most under the microscope of the investigation, it looks like he's playing bad enough that he's trying to play bad.
And that was what he was playing for the Hornets.
Yes, and I mean, it looks like, gosh, he wasn't even hiding it. There's probably a player that just had a really bad game. And some bettor happened to bet the under.
Yeah.
And now the FBI's on your doorstep, and you're going, no, I cried that night. That's the worst night of my career. That's innocent bad play, which just becomes a funny thing to have to argue to the FBI.
You think he's showing game film of previous games? See, I was 1 for 7 from 3 in this other game where there was no betting action.
I promise you, I was trying my hardest when I hit the side of the backboard from the corner. That was just a bad shot. Here, listen. Read my text messages to my shooting coach. I cursed him out that night. You got to prove that you were just that bad for a night? I know. That we're trying to make light of it. It's not a funny situation. It's just sometimes it's a funny hypothetical. It's a funny hypothetical. I lost my job that night. The gambling ring is serious. Who knows where it's going to go? I think it will get uglier for the NBA before it gets better because, I mean, it's like when you start getting like a coach here, a player there, an assistant coach and some other, it's hard to think that those are the only three. Maybe they are. I hope they are. You know, they've got friends. And what do you do when you have a little money-making scheme? Hey, yo, this thing's working, right? I hope not. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
The Charlotte Hornets.
In good news, the Hornets are 1-0, everybody. Which, you know what's funny is...
Let's go.
Well, hold on.
Hey.
Hold on. The reason why I'm saying hold on is because I was doing the same thing Dennis is doing. Heck yeah, 10 players played, 9 of them in double figures. LaMelo looked good. Con Knipple looked good. Ryan Kalkbrenner looked good. Brandon Miller looked good. Sion James got some minutes. All of this is good. Colin Sexton off the bench. Hornets rolling. And then I was reminded they've won their last 5 openers.
Yeah.
So the opener is not indicative of how great the season is going to be. Matter of fact, you can have some really bad seasons following winning the opener.
Hey, new year, Tim. Doesn't matter.
The Hornets being on a 5-season opener win streak is an all-time. Really? Like, that is a what? Huh? How? But they are. You don't want to catch – that's what they say about the Hornets. You don't want to catch the Hornets when they're 100% healthy. And the only – people will say in professional sports, the only game you're 100% healthy is game 1. You don't want to catch them when they're 100% healthy. But still, it's a good game. They beat Brooklyn. And guess who's next? I'm going to be torn. They're at Philly on Saturday. I like the Hornets. I root for all the local teams. The Philadelphia 76ers are probably the team that I've kept like my childhood fandom the most of. I enjoy the Sixers. I first NBA game I ever went to was Gary Payton and the Seattle Supersonics at the Philadelphia 76ers. We sat with our backs against the back wall. So Hornets, don't hurt them too bad. Now that you're 1-0 and on the way. Sixers are 1-0 also. As far as around the NBA, Tyrese Proctor got some minutes. Duke player last year, second-round pick as a backup guard for the Cavs. Cooper Flagg made his debut for the Mavs and a loss to the Spurs. A rough opener for Cooper Flagg, but did finish with a double-double. Played a lot of minutes. Point guard for the Mavs, which is interesting.
Yeah.
For the Nets, Drake Powell from UNC. Came off the bench, played a handful of minutes. Nothing too dramatic, but NBA debuts are always a big deal. And are you into sports cards at all? I read a whole article about this.
I used to be a lot when I was younger.
Yeah, I'm now the algorithms think I'm really into it. My son just likes having like the cards, uses them almost as like action figures rather than like knowing who they are and collecting them. So I'm trying to find cards that are worth like nothing. You can't find those anymore. Sports cards are all $30 for 6 packs. I want like the old ones. But I have heard like in debuts and things for rookies, they're putting special patches that are like only worn when you're a rookie.
Yeah.
And then they go on cards, and those cards are then worth like $1 billion trillion. So only exaggerating a little bit on the price. So someone somewhere is going to get Cooper Flagg's little like rookie debut patch from last night in some random pack, a year from now, and they're going to go nuts. And I'm going to go, he didn't even play that well in the debut.
Doesn't matter, Tim.
Yeah, it's all about scarcity. There's an economics lesson in
one
there
of
somewhere.
one.
That's number 3.
Supply demand.
It is 100%. It's a micro and macroeconomics lesson. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
What's the latest on Bryce Young, Dennis? Is he playing? Is he suiting up?
So he did not practice again today. So it was actually a fully padded practice today for the Carolina Panthers. He was the only player that did not participate due to injury. Cam Jackson, the defensive lineman, didn't practice because he's sick. So he had an illness, so he practiced yesterday, but that's really about all I can say regarding that. But everyone else participated in full. J.C. Horn, who had a little bit of a rest day yesterday, full participant. Damian Lewis, full participant coming off the shoulder injury. DJ Wanham, who had a rest day yesterday, full participant in practice, and Princely Umamielen, full practice participant today as well. So really the only injury question you have going into Sunday is Bryce Young. That's literally is it. He did go to practice with his helmet, but again, did not suit up in pads, did some light jogging and some more rehab stuff on the side, that kind of deal. But I don't know. You don't practice for 2 straight days. You're just kind of rehabbing on the side. I don't know. In my eyes, not looking great.
I would be very surprised if he plays on Sunday.
I'd be shocked.
I do think his presence with a helmet at practice each of the last 2 days, socially, like we're talking like between the ears, it makes it feel very much like a backup quarterback game, right? For sure. When the starter isn't at practice or doesn't travel with for a road game or something like that, I think it then starts to feel like this could be an extended absence, right? We better get used to this backup quarterback. When the quarterback is there, doing things, moving, he's lightly jogging, he's kind of, around the group during practice, I think it then feels like, Andy, just keep the seat warm. We're not going to change anything for you. You know what I mean? Which I would like if I were Bryce Young, I'd want to be out there. I'd want to be in the huddles. I'd want to be stretching with everybody. I want it to be everything custom fitted for me. Andy's just going to be in the driver's seat for a week. Meanwhile, what's going on in Cincy with Joe Burrow out, it's like, no, we better learn how Flacco likes things, right? We better do some things to make sure Flacco is comfortable. I think with Bryce's presence, you're not really seeing a lot of that. With that being said, and I talked about this right at the beginning of the show, I do think the Bryce Young will he, won't he play thing, the Andy Dalton, how much does the offense change thing, which we've done and everybody's doing, I think that's a lot of I don't know, debating who's like the fourth leading star in a movie. Like if I'm going to a Matthew McConaughey movie and you tell me, like Michael Caine, has 3 scenes in it, I'm be like, all right, cool, Michael Caine, nice, right? Michael Caine. But you're going for the McConaughey movie, right? If I'm watching the Panthers this weekend, I'm hoping they beat the Bills. It's a Rico Dowdle, it's a run-stopping, it's a Derek Brown movie. And if Bryce Young's there, cool. For a couple scenes, like, oh, all right, there you go, Bryce Young. If it's Andy Dalton, I'm like, I haven't seen a movie with that guy in it for a while. Making a comeback, nice. But really, the stars are Rico Dowdle, J.C. Horn, Derek Brown, the guys that have been carrying the offensive line. Don't let me forget the offensive line. The guys that have been carrying them for the last few games. Whether it's Bryce or Andy, how the quarterback plays is not what I think is going to most decide things for the Panthers this weekend, barring turnovers. Turnovers jump to the head of the line for importance. I know people have the highlights, and you can find highlights for any player. When's the last time you had a play that Bryce Young made that was like, goodness gracious, I don't know if anyone else could have done that, and that just swayed the whole game for us? Yeah, right? And by the way, his mic was on that whole time. He wasn't answering that question, and you didn't hear it. It like the fourth quarter throw to Hunter Renfrow. That's not fourth down. I get it's a big play that helped you win, but it's not like, whoa, nobody could have done that.
Yeah, it's not like only 5 guys can make that throw.
Even when we talked with Mike Glennon about that exact throw, 10-year NFL veteran. His first thing was, I put that one kind of on the defense playing way off on 4th and 5 or whatever it was.
8 yards off.
I don't know. I don't think there's a ton that Bryce does that other quarterbacks wouldn't be able to do. Aside from, he does make it a pretty good 4th down conversion every once in a while.
I mean, yeah, it's not like what we saw Drake May recently do, where he has literally a guy dragging him down and he still completes a pass downfield.
Yeah, people are surprised by that. We watched it for 2 years at UNC.
Yeah, no, for real.
Did he do it with his right hand? Oh, well, then that's not that special.
I know. Do it with his left.
I mean, that's what we're looking for. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
Go on! Let's do that hockey.
Canes at Avalanche tonight. Dennis, you spun it on me. I'm spinning it right back to you. If-then statement. If blank happens tonight, then The Canes win the game, money line, get back on the winning track. I don't care about spreads. They win the game. They go on to their last game of the State Fair road trip, winners once again, and they bounce back from the loss to Vegas.
I think if they take less than 4 penalties in the game or have less than 4 power plays allowed, then I think they win this game.
A little like play clean kind of. That shows you're doing things right.
I think because a couple things. One, playing at 5-on-5 allows everyone to be involved in the game. If you're having to kill penalties, guys like Svechnikov and others are parking on the bench. So that doesn't get everyone involved. But you know with the talent over at Colorado that at any moment that power play unit over there, even though they're ranked 30th in the NHL right now, can pop off at any moment. And I don't want to give Nathan McKinnon any more ice time or any more ice space on the ice more than he already gets. I don't want to give him more. Taking less than or giving up less than 4 power plays.
The way these two seasons are going, the Avalanche and the Canes are very similar. They're winning their games. They're bad on the power play. Some of the stars are cranking. Some of the stars playing well. Some guys are a little slow to get out of the blocks. Hasn't hurt them too bad. So it's almost like when you're thinking of what do you have to stop Colorado from doing, think about, well, what do you most want to see from the Canes, right? It's like, what do you most want to see from the Canes right now? You're like, well, I'd love to see the new guy score. He's got a ton of shots and hasn't scored yet, Nikolai Ehlers. Well, Colorado, guess who's 2 spots below in the rankings? They're the top 4 in shots on goal without having scored a goal this year. Nikolai Ehlers is number 2. The Avs' new guy, Brent Burns, is number 4, right? So it's like, all right, get the new guy scoring. All right, so don't let the new guy score. Well, what do you want to see from the Canes today? I want to see the power play get going, right? As talented as they are, all the puck movers, all the great skaters they have, they're not really scoring on the power play. All right, well, make it a key to stop the Avs on the power play because they're dealing with the exact same thing. It's their early seasons have gone similarly. So, self-scout. Well, what do you want to get going for the Canes? Stop the Avs from doing that, and you'll be fine. Same thing is true on their end, right? It's a little bit like stick handling in the mirror, if you will, right? You're out there just trying to best yourselves. Not to say it's exactly the same, right? I'm not out here saying Aho is McKinnon. I'm not saying McKinnon is Aho. But as a team, their seasons have gone very similar. And they have cool jerseys today. Whalers, Nordiques. I just like the jerseys. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9, The Fan. And also Jacob Slavin and Shane Gostisbehere are not expected to play today. They won't be. I don't know why I said expected that way. Rod Brindamore was asked about it and how they can overcome those losses. This is what he had to say.
Those are huge losses, and on any team you lose your defense. It's just hard, and so you need other guys to pick up the slack. It's not just in your play; it's in how you help other guys. And we got young guys back there, and that's any help that they can have and feel comfortable. It's just going to help our group. So it's nice to have veteran players that understand that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I almost went into the Remember the Titans. You do not replace a Jacob Slavin. Slavin and Ghost are really good players. They play exceptionally different roles. They're veterans. In a big game like this, you'd want to have them out there. Can't always have what you want. You're rolling out some young guns. Some big dudes, right? You're rolling out some different players out there. But I'm excited to see how it goes. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's time for the numbers game. Good prize today, as it's been all week. A $30 gift card to Alpaca Chicken. Legendary flavor, hometown pride. Call in now for the numbers game. 919-860-5326. We need 2 contestants. One of them will win the numbers game and a $30 gift card to Alpaca Chicken. Again, the phone number, 919-860-5326. Numbers game next.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Colorado.
They score! And it's a milestone goal for the captain, Jordan Stahl's 300th.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 8:30. Puck drop at 9.
Jarvis scores! He does it in overtime again! Carolina wins it in overtime!
On your official official audio home of Hurricanes hockey. 99.9 The Fan.
This party's getting crazy. Are those mini horses? And there's a build-your-own fireworks bar? Ah! Heads up! Whoa, and they've got the new ultimate blowout scratch-offs. Okay, now it's a party.
With $250, $500, and $5,000 prizes, the ultimate blowout scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are exploding with wins. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.26. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's bow time.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. We have Chase and Clayton. We have Cameron and Raleigh. They are on the line getting ready to battle it out with jersey number trivia. The winner gets a $30 gift card to Alpaca Chicken. As always, we'll bring them both onto the show one at a time. Ask them the same question. Dennis will pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first. So we're gonna build off of something we did earlier this week. We'll bring Chase and Clayton on first. Chase, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so earlier this week, in honor of Whalers Nordiques night for the Canes and Avalanche tonight, we did best jerseys in sports history. But I think this is actually more specific than that. I think a lot of it comes down to the logos, right? The whale tail, the igloo with the stick, with the hockey stick, two all-time logos. So I ask you, in the history of sports, what's the best logo?
Man, I love the San Jose Sharks. I really do. I love that logo. So I have to choose that one.
All right. San Jose Sharks logo. Dennis, any follow-ups?
No questions.
All right. You're locked in, Chase. We'll go to Cameron and Raleigh. Cameron, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
All right. Same question to you. In honor of the Whalers and Nordiques, two of the best logos in my mind, in my opinion, in the history of sports, I ask you, what is the best logo in the history of sports? Could be an active logo, a old team logo, a throwback. What's the best logo in sports history?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it in hockey as well. But I'm going to go with the old Arizona Coyotes Kachina logo from the 90s. Love that one.
That's a solid one. It's a good throwback jersey. All right, you any follow-ups, Dennis? All right, you are locked in as well. Dennis, what is the correct answer? San Jose Sharks or the old Coyotes?
That's actually really good. They're both fantastic answers, by the way.
Hockey history has a lot of really good ones.
They really do. Because the Coyote with holding the stick and on skates and everything along those lines, and the color, the pattern, everything, it's a really great logo.
I put that Coyotes logo back in the day with like the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Yeah.
They had like the checkerboard around the outside and the angry dribbling gorilla or dribbling bear, obviously, for the Grizzlies. Either way, that's neither here nor there. Who you got?
I think I'm going to go San Jose Sharks. The biting of the stick kind of snapping. I'm going to go with the biting of the stick. I don't know. I think it's a really, really cool logo with the teal and everything on there as well. I'll probably go San Jose Sharks between the two on this one. The correct answer is early 90s Charlotte Hornets. Was the correct answer we were looking for?
For the best logo?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a great logo.
There's two ways to go. That the group we went with, all very like modern. You could have gone classic. Like I'm not a huge fan of how they operate in a lot of ways, but the Cowboys star is pretty iconic. Or the Colts, just the horseshoe.
Yeah, the horseshoe
is pretty sweet. If you're going new, like the Raptors Vince Carter era is pretty cool. It's
a great one.
There's a bunch of them. But either way, that means Chase and Clayton gets to go first. Cameron and Raleigh, you'll have your chance. Just have to sit on hold for a second. Chase, are you ready to pick a category?
I am.
All right, the categories are NFL players that were Marcus Mariota's teammates at one point or another, NFL players that were Jalen Ramsey's teammates at one point or another, NBA All-Euros, another category of all players from Europe, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
Let's go with the Mariota teammates.
Sounds good. Marcus Mariota teammates. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
I'm good.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Deebo Samuel, Washington Commanders.
10.
Incorrect. Tyler Algier, Atlanta Falcons.
25.
Correct. Eric Decker, Tennessee Titans.
87.
Correct. Hassan Reddick, Philadelphia Eagles.
Pass.
Brian Edwards, Las Vegas Raiders.
9.
Incorrect. Deebo Samuel, Washington Commanders.
13.
Incorrect. Hassan Reddick, Philadelphia Eagles.
26.
Incorrect. Brian Edwards, Las Vegas Raiders.
18.
Incorrect. You got two, and the two you got were actually good pulls. I think of the ones you got, Deebo Samuel, I thought was going to be the easiest, number one. You didn't get that one.
Yeah.
Then you pulled Tyler Algier and Eric Decker smooth. You got 25 for Algier and 87 for Eric Decker on the Titans. Then Hassan Reddick, for some reason I remember him as number 7. And then Brian Edwards with the Raiders, 89. That would have been another good pull. Either way, 2 is the number to beat. You are the leader in the clubhouse. Stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up. That brings us to Cameron and Raleigh. Cameron, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Perfect. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players that were Jalen Ramsey's teammates at one point or another, NBA players that are from Europe, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
Let's do NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
All right. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. I will say the team in this category, even though we know it, just to keep it fair timing-wise with the other categories. And you do need at least 3 for the win. Any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Seth Jarvis, Carolina Hurricanes.
24.
Correct. Pyotr Kochetkov, Carolina Hurricanes.
52.
Correct. Brian Rodney, Carolina Hurricanes.
33.
Correct. Ryan Carter, Carolina Hurricanes.
29.
Correct. Shane Willis, Carolina Hurricanes.
25.
There you go. Perfect score. Pretty quick.
18.5 seconds.
Not our fastest of all time, but close. 14, I think, is the fastest we've ever done it. But either way, that was smooth. You're a big Canes fan, aren't you?
I am. I always say watching all these horrible Canes teams back like 10 years ago is really paying off.
You didn't know it, but you were preparing yourself for a $30 gift card to Alpaca Chicken. Congratulations. For those of you playing at home, Brian Rodney, we would have accepted 28, 29, or 33. And undo that real quick, Dennis. There was Shane Willis was 25. We also would have accepted 45. They'd worn those at different points in time. But that's a perfect score. It's been a while since we had one. Last perfect score was almost a month ago. Was September 30th. So credits Cameron and Raleigh for breaking that streak. Congratulations one more time. Stay on the line. Dennis has has some info he needs to get from you to make sure you get your prize.
Thank you.
There you go. I like the little emotion there when he started talking about watching all the games that were maybe hard to watch and it paying off. Just because sometimes.
Oh, they were very difficult to watch.
I know, but sometimes you get these perfect score winners, and thank you. Yes, thank you. I appreciate. Can I prize? Thank you. And I'm going like, no, give me something. Give me a woo. Give me something. But he did the line about watching all those Canes games that weren't very good, paying off. That's a good line. I like that one. That's good enough, and that's enough personality. Great logos, by the way. Great logo since we asked that question. Like I said, I think there's two categories. There's the modern ones and the old school ones. If you wanted to say a Yankees logo, I wouldn't hate you for it. If you wanted to say like the Bears C or the Green Bay G, I wouldn't argue. If you wanted to go back to like a Maple Leafs, again, you don't like the team to like the logo. There's some history there. There's some cool stuff going on. When it comes to the NBA, as far as a great logo, I think most of the stuff is newer. I don't know, like the MPLS from the Minneapolis Lakers doesn't do it for me. I guess maybe just the Block Celtics kind of has some history there. There's not a ton of great logos from the old NBA. They were more like team scripts.
Yeah.
Modern NBA has some cool ones, as we've alluded to.
I will say this: they actually went back to it in recent years, but the Pittsburgh Penguins have a really cool logo.
Yeah. I
Really
mean,
cool logo.
the old hockey and the 90s hockey, I think, were both really, really good logo eras. Some of the newer stuff, I could take or leave. But the 90s era, maybe it's nostalgia for me, and like the century-old logos, I think those are all cool. Same is true for baseball. 90s baseball, when they were taking sleeves off, they were doing crazy stuff, I'm in on that. And like the baseball from the 1920s, I'm in on that. Like the Tigers, the little Old English D.
Yeah.
Like I'm cool with that. But some of the newer stuff, I'm not all the way in on. Either way, we'll get to more of that in a little bit. In the meantime, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here for my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Folks, if you have wondered if there's a weight loss plan out there that could potentially work for you, I'm telling you, I'm living, breathing, walking proof that the Raleigh Weight Loss Center program can work. I've lost 40 pounds in just under 3 months with Raleigh Weight Loss Center. 40 pounds. And here's the thing about the 40 pounds lost. I've been able to maintain those 40 pounds lost. That's actually the most important part about this program, I think, is the fact that there's what they call a maintenance plan. It's not just about losing the weight. It's about keeping it off. If you have questions if a weight loss plan can be good for you, give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and set up a free 15-minute phone call. If you have questions, get those answers. If you have any medical concerns, bring those up and figure out if the program is good for you. And also, here's the thing I appreciate about the Raleigh Weight Loss Center plan. It's not just the fact that you're going to lose weight and also maintain the weight that you lost. It's an actual plan for you to follow. So many times I've seen people look up online or people I've talked to say, they say figure out what works for you, but I don't know where to even start. Raleigh Weight Loss Center gives you a plan. Follow this. Simple. Follow this plan. You'll see results. I've lost 13% of my body weight, and they've helped tons, hundreds of people, thousands of people lose anywhere between 10 to 20% of their body weight. RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or give them a call, 919-897-7506. Set up that free 15-minute call. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have an all-time sweaters matchup, an all-time jersey logo matchup tonight. What are the top 5 jerseys of all time? Any sport. Dennis and I give our lists next.
Move your sports day forward.
For a team proud to pound the rock, there's a weird reluctance within the Carolina Panthers coaching staff to do so with the guy who we know can tote the mail in Rico Dowdle. Loyalty sometimes blinds you to the obvious. Just ride the hot hand. Dowdle's been your guy for a few weeks. Time to take those dark sunglasses off and see what he can really do.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending and Carey. With the Federal Reserve cutting rates, the most frequent question we get is, do I wait for rates to go lower, or should I take the savings and just act now? At Miller Lending, we toss all the timing questions aside with our popular no-cost program. With no fees charged or added to your loan amount, you simply close on today's rates and refinance again as rates fall. With many economists predicting rates in the 5s next year, why pay upwards of $15,000 to $20,000 in closing costs just to get a rate you may get for no cost next spring? Imagine the freedom to use that money for more important things than reducing your payment by the extra $50. Recently, we've noticed a trend of related party transactions as some of the nation's largest lenders have bought real estate or mortgage lead sites, driving closing costs even higher. Please don't throw away all that cash or equity when all you wanted was a lower payment. Call Miller Lending and see why a no-cost loan is the right loan for you. 919-447-3377, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
Is your heating and air system ready for cooler weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your independent trained dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There's a big hockey game tonight. Canes at Avalanche. Canes trying to bounce back from a loss to the Vegas Golden Knights. Canes playing without Jacob Slavin and Shane Gostisbehere. Canes facing former Canes Martin Necas, Jack Drury, Brent Burns. There's a lot of storylines here. It's the 5th of a 6-game road trip that they have to be out of town for the state fair. There's a lot going on. It is also one of, if not the best uniform matchup in sports this year. Jerseys, sweaters, whatever you want to call them. It is the Avalanche wearing their Nordiques throwback and the Canes wearing their Whalers throwbacks, which come with a little bit of a touch-and-go history, right? Both jerseys from when they were located somewhere else, and the franchise claims the history, and people from that old spot, a little something, and some people feel not great. Either way, I'm happy that the night exists because I think they're two of the better logos and jerseys in sports, and I don't want them to just go extinct because the team's moved. So I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to watch. I'm going to like the gear, and I'm going to talk about it. So I thought what we would do is I'm excluding – I don't know if I told you this, Dennis, but rules are rules. I'm excluding the two tonight.
Okay.
So they can't be on there. What are the 5 best jerseys in sports? And I'm talking not a player's jersey, like a team jersey, meaning, not a John Elway throwback Broncos jersey. But if you wanted to pick a Broncos jersey from the 80s, like that works, right? So it can't be dependent on the player that wore it being cool. Like, I don't necessarily think the early 2000s Falcons jerseys are awesome, but like Michael Vick had a moment where his jersey was in every rap video and there's nostalgia and everything else for it. So it can't be attached to a player. It has to be attached to just the jersey. Those are the rules. Dennis, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second on this one. We going five up?
5 up. So you want to go 5, 4, 4, 3, 3?
Yeah, we can do
that. Makes more sense. This is my hottest take. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, I've been yelled at about this take. The 80s Mets jersey. White pinstripes, the brighter, like royal blue. It's like the Darryl Strawberry. They had the V-neck.
Yeah.
I think the Mets did pinstripes better than the Yankees.
Really? Better than the Doc Gooden days.
Yes, Doc Gooden, like the whole squad. Keith, we can keep going. I think they did it. The Darryl Strawberry, and they got rid of them early 90s, maybe like 92. They stopped wearing them. I think that is as close to a perfect baseball uniform as you can have. They wore it as a throwback once with the Piazza era when I was a kid, and I went and got that Piazza jersey to like wear around. I think it's as good as it is. So that is my number 5 all-time best jersey in sports, like 1985 New York Mets.
85 New York Mets. Okay. All right, give me
ish, like any time in the 80s, not like one specific year.
Give me my number 5, the Chicago Blackhawks.
Current? I guess they don't really change.
I mean, it haven't really evolved or changed, but basically what we've seen them wear since the mid-50s, classic uniform. Just an iconic uniform. I think it's a great one.
All right.
So that's number 5 for me.
That goes into, like I said, there's like 2 categories. That's just like the classic, been around forever, can't really argue, unassailable. My next, Houston Oilers Warren Moon era. The light blue, with the red accent, the white helmet with the oil rig on the side, like so much so that teams are still fighting over it, right? The Titans kind of want it, the Texans kind of want it. Houston, the university wears one, like University of Houston. They wear ones that look close enough that like Tennessee sends them cease and desist letters.
Yeah,
like that's fantastic. That blue, it kind of, I don't know, was it like a predecessor to the powder blues for the Chargers? I think it's chef's kiss.
This is difficult. Give me I'm going to go a lot of hockey on my list. There's a lot of hockey. The home red Montreal Canadiens uniforms. The red and the blue with the white. It's just, again, another classic, iconic like uniform that just something that hasn't really been changed and altered over decades. Give me the Montreal Canadiens.
I don't know if this is a hot take about uniforms, but I think part of it is if you wear it long enough and don't change it long enough, they become classics.
Yeah.
I think USC football has some of the ugliest jerseys ever.
They're awesome.
They're awesome because they never changed it. You're like, no matter how bad your jerseys are, you're like 2.5 decades away from them being awesome. You just gotta stick it out for like 25, 30 years, then they're awesome. And hockey has some teams that have stuck it out for like a century. So they just kept getting more awesome in our minds. Next, Pistons era, Grant Hill era, teal.
Oh, yeah.
With the flaming chess piece. They had like the little knight.
The horse?
Yeah. I don't know why. A piston has nothing to do, like a piston's like a piece of machinery.
Well, horsepower.
The teal had nothing to do with the red and blue that they had been forever. It was just everything 90s. They put flames on it for some reason. It was awesome. And I remember loving it as a kid, even though I had no reason to like the players or the Pistons. I was just like, that jersey is awesome.
Give me the Orange Crush Denver Broncos uniforms. The lighter colored blue, the lighter color orange with the block letter D that looks like the Durham Bulls uniform.
Steve Atwater,
yes,
Dan Reeves.
That era. Yeah. Give me that era Denver Broncos uniform. That's my number 3.
I like it a lot. I actually like that logo a lot, but it obviously the Durham Bulls and it get confused all the time. But I like that logo a lot too.
By the way, I do love how the Durham Bulls consistently remind people when like
horns. No
this
horns.
Is a bull,
yeah.
That's a horse.
This is in Colorado.
This has horns.
This is in Carolina.
Yeah.
Similarly, my second best, I have Tampa Bay Bucks creamsicles. That's to me my favorite football jersey of all time, and they just wore it recently. When my cousin Mike played for the Bucks, right? Obviously, he'd kick you a piece of gear, whatever. When we got together, the only thing I ever paid my own money for was I got a hat with the pirate head creamsicle logo on it because I was like, I don't care if he gives it to me or not. I want this, and I have a reason to wear it for once, and it's an awesome logo, and I got it. There you go. What's your number 2?
My number 2, this one's a little way off the beaten path here.
I like that.
The Brazilian national soccer team. With the
I don't
yellow,
even know what their logo
like,
is. Oh, no,
just like the uniform. Just the yellow and the blue and everything, a little touch of red. Their whole uniform is just absolutely
Is there
iconic.
green on the shoulders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely gorgeous kit.
This is another observation. I think if you're really good for a long time, your jerseys get cool.
Yeah.
And obviously Brazil with like Pele all the way on through Ronaldinho, Neymar, like they're just good. And the better you are, the jerseys get cool. All right, my number 1. And this one, like it took me a while. I had to think about the others. Number 1 has been number 1 forever for me.
What's that?
Black, red pinstripe, Bulls, Jordan era. It wasn't their main, it was their alternate, but the black jersey, the red pinstripe, I think is as close to a perfect basketball jersey as we'll ever get.
Really?
Yeah.
The black and red pinstripe?
First of all, pinstripe basketball uniforms of all kinds, whether they're the Magic pinstripes. They're super underrated, not used often enough, and they should be brought back. But the Black Bulls, like the second three-peat, everybody knows they're good. They're swagging it out. They match perfectly with some of like the bread 11s. Like it is, It is just an absolutely monster jersey. It's my number one, and it will forever be my number one.
By the way, we'll throw some honorable mentions and stuff out there.
Absolutely.
But my number one, this is just my number one for me. It's funny, we were talking about this uniform the other day. The original Mighty Ducks jersey, from like the original team jersey, not
District
for the
5?
one for the, no, not the District 5 jersey. I'm talking the original actual Mighty
real
Ducks
Canes.
team jersey, not the movie jersey, but the actual one that the team wore in the early 90s.
Paul
that one with the
whatever his name is.
Animated duck face and
yeah.
everything, and the sticks. I think it's just an awesome logo.
What's his name? Paul.
Paul Correa.
Correa.
Yeah, Timo Solani.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
It was my era.
That was the first. I grew up around beaches, right? I grew my just where I lived. That was the first hockey jersey that was like kids were wearing to school and stuff. That wasn't like the local team. Like when we were in Jersey, a Flyers, the Lindros jersey would come to school. A Devils jersey would come to school. Then like the Mighty Ducks were the first one that just started popping up when we had no local connection to it. Throw out some honorable mentions. What else? What else almost made your list?
This actually one comes from Aaron on our YouTube live chat. The Milwaukee Brewers logo.
That's cool.
The classic one because it's a glove, but inside the glove's the baseball, but the thumb and the palm is the letter B. The fingers are the letter M.
There's like Easter eggs. I like logos like that.
When I actually lived in Wisconsin, for the short bit that I lived there are people that actually had a window sticker on their car or bumper sticker, and it was the B of the Milwaukee Brewer, but where the baseball is, it was actually the Packers G, and then where the fingers are, where the M is, was the Wisconsin W logo. So it's like University of Wisconsin, the Brewers,
all fit together.
It's like all in together. I was like, I almost bought one. I'm like, I'm not a fan of any of these teams, but that's cool.
I like logos that have like the more you look at it, the more you see. Like if on YouTube here, if you're looking over my shoulder at the Canes logo, that in between the two flags, when you see the state of North Carolina, the outline, I like stuff like that you don't catch the first time you look at it, and then maybe the fifth time you look, you're like, is that? Yeah, it is. I like that kind of stuff. I had the Grizzlies that we talked about.
Yeah.
Grizzlies mid-'90s with the angry dribbling bear. Really, that whole era of basketball jerseys and logos that were angry dribbling animals. You had
the early 90s Hornets?
The early 90s Hornets, the 90s Raptors, which was the early angry dribbling raptor, the angry dribbling hornet, the angry dribbling bear. I thought all those were pretty cool. So maybe it's because I was also 7 and just thought they were cool cartoons. But I was all in on those. And some of the classics. I'm still a sucker for a Notre Dame jersey.
Yeah.
Rudy. I'm still a sucker for Penn State practice uniforms. I'm still a sucker for like just the old school uniforms, which I'll always like.
Green Bay Packers have a classic uniform as well. The 80s red New England Patriots uniforms
with Patriot Pat.
Yes,
yeah,
that's a great one.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there. A lot of good ones out there. I like my list though. I like my list. And by the way, it is like a fingerprint. Everyone's top 5 is going to be different, right? I would never have some that Dennis had on my list, but also I could tell by his face some of the ones I gave he would not have on his list in a 1,000 years.
I would not have had 80s era Mets.
80s, better pinstripes than the Yankees. I've been yelled at for it in the past, and I'm sure my Twitter is lighting up now. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Also Tulane.
Tulane has
Tulane has great colors.
Yeah, I'll give you that, and a cool logo, the little the green wave. Little Smurf-looking guy, right? Yeah, that is a cool logo. We're up against it here, so we got to go. Subscribe to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. Download our app, 99.9 The Fan. Get ready for Canes hockey late night tonight, or Whalers hockey, and we'll see you tomorrow to round out the week. Until then, have a great night.
Do you have a smartphone? Of course you do. Do you have a pocket or pouch or human hand to hold your smartphone? Then you have no excuse. Download the 99.9 The Fan brand new app today and take us with you wherever you go. Your favorite hosts, podcast.